Reichert. They're outstanding. Actually, he's the all-time leading scorer in NCAA football history, as he has had 5 years kicking for Bama. He will kick off to Samaj Morgan and Joe Taylor also back there deep. So it's Michigan and Alabama from here in Pasadena, the national semifinals. Here we go. Lock the gates, burn the boats, crank it to 11. Whatever it is you do, today is the day you need to do it your best. As Reichert has the ball on the tee, he approaches, and we are underway in the Rose Bowl game as the kick will come down to Morgan, and he will let it sail over his head and into the end zone, and Michigan will take over on the 25-yard line. We'll see that Michigan offense led by J.J. McCarthy, who is 25-1 in 26 starts. That is a better record than Trevor Lawrence at Clemson or Tua Tagovailoa at Alabama. And we expect to see J.J. involved in the run game a little bit more today.
Yeah, and this is where, you mentioned all of the guys that have had great college careers, prolific college careers. Now is the time for J.J. to compare to them in the biggest of stages.
J.J. in a shotgun with Blake Corum starting to his left. Wolverines with two tight ends, three wideouts. As J.J. claps his hands, takes the first snap, and will roll to his right. Looking downfield, and nobody's open, and it looks like he's going to throw. It's intercepted. Is he out of bounds? If not, it's Caleb Downs with an interception. They are saying, indeed, an interception. J.J., I don't know if he was trying to throw it away, but Caleb Downs came down with it right on the sideline in front of the Michigan bench at the 31-yard line. And the problems that haunted Michigan last year in the national semifinal rear their ugly head right away here in Pasadena with an interception on the first play of the game, credited to Caleb Downs, and we'll have to look for a replay to see if he indeed came down with an inbounds, and it looked like he did, John.
Yeah, I think so as well. Roman Wilson was on the short end, and Cornelius Johnson deep, and I just don't know that it was the defender that was on Roman Wilson that peeled back to make the interception. Don't think J.J. saw him or thought he could thread the needle. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but he was running to that side, and he just threw it right at him, to Caleb Downs.
His play will be reviewed.
He was in.
Yeah, the replay I saw looked like he was in bounds. I mean, I guess the only thing worse is if Downs took it back for a touchdown.
Yeah, that would be worse. But this is about as bad as you could start, and they had it protected well. Alabama brought a corner blitz. Malachi Moore came off the edge. They had it picked up. They ran right into it. And all J.J. had to do was throw the ball away. And he decided to try and take a risk and throw it deeper to Cornelius Johnson, who was coming back, but he just didn't see Downs. Maybe if they're looking to see if he stepped out of bounds before.
Here's the ruling.
After review, the defender was out of bounds when he possessed the ball. It's an incomplete pass.
Wow, that was a gift from the football gods. His foot is out of bounds before he jumps. Wow. He comes down inbounds, but he took off from out of bounds.
Wow. So when he landed in,
yeah.
But
his heel was on the white, the out of bounds line.
When he jumped.
So yeah, it's can't be the one that touches it next. So
what a miracle for us right there. That play happening right in front of me. I'm like, throw it to Roman right now, but no.
Roman was open early, wasn't
Yes, he was open early.
Well, Jason, next time that happens, go out there and make a hit, will you?
Wow, so Michigan from the 25-yard line looking at a 2nd and 10 with the ball on the left hash. J.J. in a shotgun with Blake Corum off his left hip. J.J. back to pass, fires quickly. He's got his man Samaj Morgan, tries to get a block, doesn't. Gets knocked out of bounds after a gain of 1, maybe 2 on a little wide receiver screen to the freshman. Kool-Aid McKinstry, the All-American corner, credit him with the tackle. And Michigan going to be looking at a 3rd down and 8.
Well, I like the quick pass out there. Get the ball in the hands of a playmaker. Get it out of J.J.'s hands real quick. Get a completion, especially after what happened, and right behind Colston Loveland, and pick up a few yards.
Donovan Edwards in the game for the first time. He's in the backfield with J.J. 4 wide for Michigan. 3rd down and 8 from their own 27-yard line. Wolverines doing some shifting pre-snap. J.J. now brings a man in motion. It's Colston Loveland. Back to pass is J.J. looking downfield, fires underneath, and it's batted away. In coverage there for Alabama was Terrion Arnold. He also is an All-American. The corner on the other side opposite of McKinstry. And Michigan will go 3 and out on their first possession. A little shaky there, to say the least.
Well, a little shaky. Able to come away with a punt instead of that interception. That's a win here in the first one. But what I liked about it was the fact that, hey, it's 3rd and 8. You know that Alabama's going to pin their ears back and try and get after J.J., and the protection was there. Trente Jones did a good job. Ladarius Henderson did a good job. So that bodes well for Sherrone Moore calling plays here in the next time they possess the ball.
Tommy Doman puts his right foot into it and gets off a booming punt that Caleb Downs will signal for a fair catch, bobble it, but make it at his own 37-yard line. And that's where Bama will take over for their first possession of the game, led by their man Jalen Milroe. Reminds me a little bit, invokes memories of Terrell Pryor. The way he runs with the football, you don't think he's going fast, and then you look up and he's running away from everybody.
He's a tremendous athlete. He's a young athlete. He's made some mistakes early this year. Probably the most improved player in college football, at least most notably improved player in college football after that loss to Texas, getting benched and now taking his team to the college football playoffs.
We'll set the Michigan defense in a moment, but we'll be watching that matchup in the middle of the defensive line. Chris Jenkins, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant going against the interior of the Bama offensive line. Milroe takes the snap back to pass. Here comes the rush, and down he goes! Sacked! Braden McGregor drops Jalen Milroe for a huge loss on the first play of the game for the Crimson Tide. 14-yard loss. Braden McGregor, big pretty out of Port Huron on the sack, his 3rd of the season.
Yeah, and it was just a straight rush. It wasn't anything. It was a little pop to the tackle, got him on his heels, and then he just came inside him. If that's the resistance that this defensive line is going to get, it's going to be a long day for Jalen Milroe.
2nd down and 24. Empty backfield. Milroe back to pass. Looking. Fires underneath. He's got his tight end, Dupree. And he gets back a lot of the sack yardage out to about the 35-yard line for a gain. Makari Page chased him out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and long for Bama.
This is exactly where you want to put this Alabama offense. 3rd and long situations. And that's kind of commonplace against an opponent. But what we just saw on 1st down with Braden McGregor getting the sack, this is not a great pass-protecting offensive line for Alabama.
They've given up 44 sacks now on the year, the 123rd in the country coming into this game. Milroe looks to change the play. He's got Roydell Williams in the backfield with him. Play clock at just 5. Scoreless here early on in Pasadena. Milroe gets the snap off. Back to pass on 3rd and 12. Here comes the pass rush again. He bounces out of there. Down he goes again. Sacked. Josiah Stewart in the backfield. And Michigan, 2 sacks on the first 3 snaps for the Crimson Tide, and Alabama will be forced to punt a 12-yard loss.
I mean, that's about as good as it gets. You start with the ball on the 37-yard line, and sack on 1st down, sack on 3rd down, and now you're looking at punting. You know, it was a net of minus 11 yards.
Samaj Morgan deep for Michigan to take the punt from Will Burnup, who just gets it off. Morgan's got to chase up and catch it on the run. Now he drops it. It's on the ground, and it looks like Bama may have it. Samaj Morgan trying very hard to not let that punt land and roll. Bama's saying they've got it. There's a pile up. We have to wait for them to unpile. And did the Wolverines escape another near tragedy and come up with that football?
By the receiving team, recovered by the kicking team. 1st down, Alabama.
Nope.
Oh, John, that is not the way to start the game. I know what Samaj was trying to do. It was a short punt, and he's trying to keep it from landing and rolling.
Well, he's trying to keep it from landing and rolling, but he's also a guy that had an 87-yard return in the Big Ten championship game and is just looking to make a play. But, hey, put the defense back out there. Let's see if we can get him to lose another 12.
The weird thing was, had he caught it, there was nobody in front of him.
Yeah.
I mean, he had all kinds of green grass in front of him. Bama will take over on the 44-yard line of the Wolverines. Milroe in a shotgun. Takes the snap, turns and hands it off this time up the middle. And good yardage for Jace McClellan back from a foot injury for the Crimson Tide. Inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, most of the yardage by McClellan this year has been in between the tackles. He's not a guy that shows you a great threat on the edge, but is a power back, is going to put his head down. And they showed you, hey, if we can't pass protect, we're going to at least try and run the ball.
2nd down and 4. Milroe in a shotgun. McClellan continues in the backfield. 3 receivers split to the right with the ball on the right hash. And Milroe's going to keep it quarterback run and bounce it outside. He gets the edge and may have the first down, chased out of bounds on that far sideline right in front of the marker by Makari Page. And indeed, it is a first down, and we got a Wolverine down here. Back near the 35-yard line. Try and see who it is. There wasn't much there. That play was designed to go left, and Milroe, as he's been known to do, improvising, came back to the right.
Yeah, I mean, he's such an unbelievable athlete. When you get him out running around, you really got to be precise in your target and how you're going to tackle him.
The man that's down appears to be Junior Colson, Michigan's middle linebacker. And as they attend to him, we'll take a break. Scoreless here in Pasadena, 10:56 to go first quarter. Michigan with a near interception and then a fumbled punt. And Bama has the first down of the game at the Michigan 34-yard. Okay, correction on the Michigan injury. It's Rayshon Benny, 26, not 25. He is taken off the field. Junior Colson is out there for this next Bama snap, who's got the first down of the game at the Michigan 34-yard line. 1st and 10 following the punt fumble by Samaj Morgan that would have set up the Wolverines with great field position. But nonetheless, Bama trying to capitalize on the first big mistake of the game as they're looking at 1st and 10 from the Michigan 33-yard line.
Doug, in your interview with Jim Harbaugh, he talked about, 3 years ago it was 3-0 in turnovers for Georgia. Last year, 3-3. And it was so important to be able to possess the football. And you can't have mental mistakes like that. And that's all that really was. I know that Samaj Morgan was very eager and very excited. He saw green grass ahead of him. But anytime you're running like that, Jason, it's hard to catch punts, but it's also hard to catch punts when you're running at full speed, isn't it?
100%. You have to evaluate the risk when you're a punt returner. They moved it to 3rd and 1, by the way.
Okay, ball got moved back. Jace McClellan in the backfield. And Bama is looking at a 3rd and 1. Milroe under center. Michigan expecting a quarterback sneak, and that's indeed what he does. The Wolverines stand him up. The question is, did he get the first down? Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan defense, signaling they did not. Mike Barrett saying they did not. Chris Jenkins saying they did not. Junior Colson led the Michigan tacklers. And it all comes down to which foot the official decides to spot the ball with. But
it's amazing all of those Mason Blue officials said he was short.
Well, it looks like he did get the first down. So move the chains for the Crimson Tide.
An opportunity for this defense to stand up, and they were put in a very bad position. Started off with great potential and great rhythm on defense. Got to find a way to recapture it. It's only 3 downs there. It's not a big deal. And now is the time that they've got to stand up and try and get a stop.
Shotgun for Milroe. Jace McClellan, the senior running back out of Aledo, Texas, in the backfield. Off the left hip of Milroe. Claps his hands, takes the snap, ball's on the ground, picks it up and hands it to McClellan, makes a man miss. He's in the clear, 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown Alabama. Fumbled snap, Milroe picked it up and handed it off to McClellan. And Alabama leads at 6-0.
And sometimes that's all it takes is, hey, that ball is on the ground. Obviously not how it's drawn up for Alabama, but you take your eyes off of your blockers, your keys for just a moment. They recover, hand the ball off, and then you're out of position.
Well, John, we talked about pregame and talked about yesterday and all leading up to this game. Something's going to go wrong, and when it does, how you respond determines how good your team can or is going to be. And Michigan has responded to a lot of stuff that went wrong this year. And early here in the Rose Bowl, as Reichert pops the extra point through, some stuff has gone wrong. And it's how do the Wolverines respond?
Yeah, they got a gift early on with the interception that was called back. And then obviously Samaj Morgan gives them the ball. They go down and score. And you're spotting a team like Alabama in the college football playoffs, 7 points. That's how you've got to perceive it. Now, it's up to the offense to go out there and respond.
A touchdown gives Alabama a 7-0 lead on Jace McClellan's 7th touchdown run of the season. And Michigan will get the football back. Their first series, they went 3 and out, all pass plays. And that happened in the first possession of the second half game against Minnesota back in October. And that's the last time that Michigan threw 3 times and punted.
I'm excited to see what JJ does on this drive. On that first play when they had the ball, JJ had Roman in a flat. And on the last play, they played cover 2-man, and he threw an arrow route, which is strictly kind of forbidden in 22-man. So I'm looking to see if JJ is going to respond in this next drive.
Yeah, he's got to settle down, got to see the field a little bit better, and not try and force things here early. I know he wants to make plays. I know he wants to have a different outcome, but you've got to let the game come to you, let it develop, and take what's there.
Will Riker will kick off. Samaj Morgan is deep. And this one will sail over Samaj's head and 4 yards deep into the end zone. Michigan will again get it at the 25-yard line. The other thing is, Jason, we saw during the warm-ups the Wolverines struggle trying to field punts, looking towards the south end zone into the sun. Could that have possibly played a role with Samaj on that fumble punt?
Yeah, 100% in this direction. The sun definitely comes into play, and that's why I believe that Alabama chose to kick in this direction to start, hopefully get one of those situations, and they did.
All right, the Wolverines put the ball a little left of center here and go 5 wide. Blake Corum shifts out of the backfield to split out wide left. 2 receivers to the left. Now they'll motion them back in. A.J. Barner and Blake Corum. 3 receivers split to the right now. 1st and 10 Michigan from the 25. They trail 7-0. J.J. in a shotgun. Claps his hands off to Corum. Corum will bounce it outside. 25, cut back up the field, put his head down and drive across the 30. 6 yards for Blake Corum on 1st down. On a good run, bouncing it outside and getting the most he can out.
I like using the formation to determine what Alabama's in, and then obviously when you're running the ball, you got to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage, getting good push from that right side of the offensive line, the revamped side, but getting good work out of your tight ends as well.
1 receiver split left. It's Cornelius Johnson. He's one-on-one out there with Kool-Aid McKinstry. Everybody else jammed in tight on 2nd and 4. JJ, toss sweep to Blake Corum, running left. Big hole. 35, 40. Blake Corum cuts it back inside and runs through a Bama defender and gets dropped at the Bama 48-yard line. Jalen Key, the man credited with the tackle. Blake Corum with a big gain there, 22 yards, and Michigan moves the chains.
A nice job by Cornelius blocking on the edge, and then they bring obviously Max Bredesen around. Kind of a little cross block there with Bredesen going out, going behind Cornelius, blocking the corner, and Cornelius coming down. Is a nice job of setting the edge, but also a nice job of keeping your hands clean, not getting called for any stupid holds on a nice big play.
Pistol formation with Blake Corum behind J.J. McCarthy. Blake will take the handoff. No play action rolling out as J.J.'s pass is batted down. Right in his face there was a Bama pass rusher as he looked to get the ball underneath to A.J. Barner. Incomplete. It was Deontay Lawson, the linebacker. And they're tall. Their linebackers are tall, 6'2" and 6'3". And credit Lawson with the PBU.
Yep, tall and athletic, did a nice job of tracking JJ, and then at the last second getting up to get in the passing lane. But I like the fact that they're getting JJ outside the pocket. Hopefully a clean view of everything that's going on, but hasn't paid off so far.
Donovan Edwards in the backfield for Michigan here on 2nd and 10. And JJ with a quick pass outside to Colston Loveland's got to make a man miss and dives over him down to the 45-yard line. Again, got what he could out of it. Deontay Lawson, the man out there on the tackle, give him 2, maybe 3 yards on 2nd down.
Yeah, I like being able to get the ball out to some of your playmakers in space, and hopefully some of these short passes, some of these quick passes will loosen some things up, and you'll be able to take some shots downfield.
Empty backfield for JJ here on 3rd down and 8 from the Alabama 46-yard line. 7:49 to go first quarter. Bama leads 7-0. Khalil Mullins in the game. They're going to go quarterback run with JJ running right. 45, 40, dives forward close to the 1st down. It depends on the spot, and I think he's coming up just short.
You're coming up just short, but I believe Jim Harbaugh is going to go for it on 4th down here. But a nice job by Khalil Mullins of coming in on that crack and making sure he stays high, but obviously knocking out the edge of that team, Chris Braswell.
That sideline just made us short 2 times in a row.
All right, Wolverines looking at a 4th and 1 from the Bama 44-yard line. Everybody jammed in tight for J.J. McCarthy in a shotgun. Blake Corum's in the backfield. They bring Roman Wilson in motion. Handoff to corner, up the middle, 1st down. In fact, good yardage down to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on that 4th and 1. Give the guys up front, Henderson, Keegan, Nugent, Barnhart, and Trente Jones the credit as they blew Bama off the ball there.
Well, they're acutely aware of what they've got to do on this drive. They've got to come away with points, and if they can come away and tie this ball game up, get back to even, now you could make something happen. This is an opportunity for this offense, especially this offensive line, to respond.
Love what we're seeing out of the Michigan run game here early on. Not so much the pass game. Two receivers split to the left with the ball on the right hash. Blake Corum in the backfield. JJ claps his hands and hand off to Corum. Weaves his way through some Bama tacklers down to the 33-yard line for a short gain. Had to make a man miss in the backfield. Give him 2 yards on first down.
Well, we knew that JJ was going to have to be a threat in the run game. The more that he is that threat, it's going to loosen some things up on the inside of that offensive line. I'll take 2 yards on first down right now here in the first quarter.
Kalel Mullings now in the backfield, and he is in a pistol formation directly behind J.J. McCarthy. Mullings averaged 6.1 yards per carry as RB3 for this team. J.J. turns, play action, back to pass, looking downfield, wants to take a shot. Now he bails out of there with a pass rush coming at him. He's going to fire. He's got a man open, and it's caught inside the Bama 15, and falling out of bounds right there is Kalel Mullings downfield. How about that?
JJ's going to have to make plays with his feet, and a nice job offensive line by protection. When things break down, JJ gets outside the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, and does a really nice job of finding Kalel Mullins. Kalel Mullins comes in, has a knockout block on Braswell on that JJ run, and now all of a sudden a big catch for him.
That's his second catch of the season, good for 20 yards. Ball at the Bama 14-yard line, 1st and 10. JJ hands it off on a jet sweep to Samaj Morgan. Can he turn the corner? 15-10. Samaj Morgan knocked out of bounds at the Bama 8-yard line. Give him 6 yards on first down. Michigan knocking on the door here with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Well, you know there's nobody that wants to make up more than Samaj Morgan right now for the mistake and allowing Alabama to have that ball, and they're on Michigan's side of the field and score an easy touchdown than Samaj Morgan. So I love to see the ball in his hands. I still got a lot of confidence in Samaj Morgan to be able to make some plays, and he's going to have to make some plays today for Michigan to win.
How do you respond? Always been what this team has done well. 10th play of the drive for Michigan. 2nd down and 4. JJ in a shotgun. Blake Corum in the backfield. JJ back to pass. Looking, he's got Corum in the flat. Blake's got it inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown, Wolverines. Blake Corum in the pass game wide open. JJ found him, and Michigan has responded.
Wow, I absolutely love this play call. The fact that Blake Corum starts to the right of JJ. He comes through the middle and just gets caught up, lost in the wash, and then there's nobody around him. Just a great play design to get an easy pitch and catch for a touchdown.
That 8-yard touchdown reception brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. On for the extra point is JT. On the hold of Tommy Doman. Snap is good from Will Wagner. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And Michigan has tied the game at 7 here in the first quarter following a 10-play drive that covered 75 yards in 5 minutes and 18 seconds. We're deadlocked early on here in Pasadena. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Hey, you guys, that drive was absolutely amazing. A couple things I want you to point out. The shifts in motion caused Alabama to be off balance, and then we're more physical up front. John, I know you love to see that.
Oh, there's no question. And the fact that they're giving JJ the opportunity to see whether it's man, whether it's zone, cover 2, cover 3, whatever the defense is in by some of those motions. And, yeah, Alabama's going to be off balance because on every single play you had guys, whether it's shifts or motion, you had moving parts all over the place, and Alabama's not able to get settled in and try and respond. I thought it was a great job of calling plays. And then the touchdown, Doug, we've seen that so many times where Blake Corum lines up to the right, he comes in, and he's a guy that they use at protection. On this one, they bring him in just like he's going to be in protection to pick up a linebacker, and he just, works his way through, comes out, unscathed, untouched, and uncovered.
Blake scored a touchdown receiving the football against Michigan State last year, and then bam, just like that, 29 touchdowns later, he gets another one. Tommy Doman's kickoff will sail deep into the end zone, and Alabama will let it fall, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Blake Corum, 4 carries, 33 yards, 1 reception, 8 yards in that touchdown. J.J. McCarthy started 1 of 4, settled down, completed his last 3, including the touchdown pass to Blake Corum there. And we're going to get a timeout down below with the game knotted at 7. We'll keep it right here. And John, Jason, we've discussed it so much this year. How do you respond?
Well,
It was a near disastrous start. It was bad enough as it was. A ball that looked like it was intercepted on the first play from scrimmage. Next possession, fumble a punt. Alabama's leading 7-0. And that was a response. 10 plays, 75 yards.
Well, not only it was on top of that, it was a bad snap that Jalen Milroe picked up and was able to hand it off to his running back, who goes 34 yards for a touchdown. So nothing went well for Michigan in about the first 6 minutes of the game. Then you put together a 10-play, 75-yard drive that takes a little bit over 5 minutes off the clock. And now that confidence that you started the game with, it was shattered with the near interception and then obviously the turnover and the touchdown. You've been able to build back some of that confidence, so you're back to where, hey, this defense, don't forget the first time Alabama had the ball, it was sack on first down, sack on third down, and it was, hey, negative 12 yards net. So this defense needs to be playing with a lot of confidence, go out there and attack.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. They have a problem. They have young guys at their left tackle and left guard and Proctor and Booker. So I believe we can get after those guys most of the game. But I can't stress more the play calling. We talked about in the past game, even the last play design, we're seeing a lot of shifts and motions, but also across the field once the ball is snapped, making guys go through a lot of bodies in order to cover their man, because this is a high percentage man-to-man team. They're doing a great job play design right now.
And I thought this was going to be an opportunity for Sharon Moore. Yeah, he's the offensive line coach. He is the play caller, but it's an opportunity for him to protect his offensive line. I know that Michigan wants to be able to block block 4 with 5 and be able to send max guys out, but you're going to have to get creative to protect your offensive lines at times. Trente Jones done a really nice job of sets and using his hands and athletic ability, and his counter moves that better today than I've seen him throughout the course of his career. But at times through play calling, Jason, they're going to have to protect this offensive line, and so far they've done a really nice job of that.
Agreed.
Another storyline to watch, Seth McLaughlin, the Bama center. That was a bad snap that Milroe picked up, and they happened to take it for a touchdown. But remember, it was his bad snap that led to Alabama being in that 4th and goal from the 31 in the Auburn game. 4:23 to go, first quarter. We're tied at 7. Roydell Williams in the backfield, the pistol formation behind Jalen Milroe, who claps his hands, takes the snap, hands it off to Williams. He's met at the line of scrimmage. In fact, driven backwards. That looks like it'll be a TFL as the Wolverines get the job done in the center of that Bama defensive line. Roydell Williams dropped for a loss of 1.
Nice job of the defense rotating over. You've got Josh Wallace in run support, allowing for, actually that was Mikey Samerstill. I thought it was Jalen Harrell. Mikey Samerstill popped in there. God, I love that kid.
Filling the hole nicely. Bama now with 3 tight ends. They split 2 of them out wide to the right. Empty backfield for Milroe on 2nd down at 11. See if the Wolverines can generate some pass rush. Here they come on a blitz. Milroe fires over the middle, incomplete. Throws it into traffic. Junior Colson, the Wolverines' leading tackler in coverage there, jumping around like he wished he'd turned his head a second earlier. He might have had an interception. Kendrick Law, who's kind of there, Samaj Morgan, was the man that Milroe was looking for.
Yeah, and I mentioned this in the pregame. If you can force Alabama to try and make quick decisions, Jalen Milroe specifically, make quick decisions. He's still young. He's still a little bit unsure of himself, and I think that's going to be advantage Michigan.
Shotgun for Milroe on 3rd and 11. 3 receivers in a bunch formation out to the left. Now they bring Dupree in motion back to the line of scrimmage. Back to passes Milroe on 3rd and long. Here comes the pass rush. He steps up and he's going to run. 25-30, and he slides well short of the first down. Boy, John, I thought he had a first down there easily, but he gave himself up 4 yards shy of the first down.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, especially with as physical a player as we've seen him be. Again, it's decisions. When you've got a young player making decisions, it's not always easy. We saw it with Samaj Morgan. Not a great decision. This one, not a great decision to slide when he could have possibly picked up the first.
And he almost tore an ACL right there because he's the wrong way.
Samaj Morgan standing on his own 19 to take the punt from James Burnup. Guess what country he's from, John?
Australia.
Correct. Burnup, the big punter, puts his right foot into it. He gets hit and goes down, and I think he's going to get an Academy Award as the officials watched it happen. Burnup's grabbing his leg. Meanwhile, Samaj makes a fair catch on the 19-yard line, a 50-yard punt. And it looked like he had landed, and the ball was well out of there.
Yeah.
When the punt rush off the edge, I have to see who it was, barely touched him, but boy, did Burnip go down in a heap, and he is getting addressed by the trainers right now.
Yeah, that was great acting by him. That was not a close call at all.
Not mad at him. That's what you do, but he is one of the best punters in the nation, averaging over 47 a kick. That one was good for 50 yards.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good punter, and obviously he's got to follow through with it. And hopefully he is just acting, and he's going to be okay as he's getting up and walking off the field. I think we'll probably see him next time Alabama has the ball and needs to punt. But you never want to see a guy go down, and that to me was inadvertent contact. Referees thought so as well.
Still haven't been able to see who the Wolverine was.
Keyshawn Bennett.
Okay, thank you. So Michigan will take over on the 19-yard line. We're tied here, late first quarter. Michigan and Alabama. Blake Corum in the backfield. He got some rhythm going in the run game a little bit earlier. Wolverines' last possession. Wolverine with two receivers split to the left. Turns, does JJ, and hands it off to Blake Corum. He's got a hole across the 20, out close to the 24-yard line where he is stood up by Deontay Lawson again. Third leading tackler for this Bama team. He's having a heck of a game all over the field in the early going.
Yeah, but 4.5, 5 yards. It's nice for Michigan, and they've got a lot of motion going on. We mentioned that pre-snap, but then you pull Trevor Keegan, Ladarius Henderson, bringing them across the board, and get in behind him. You're going to pick up some good yardage because that's a lot of mass coming across the formation.
2nd down and 6 for Michigan. Donovan Edwards shifts out of the backfield. He's split wide right. JJ back to pass. Going to fire underneath. He's got Samaj Morgan out across the 30. And I believe good for the first down. Yep, he didn't step out of bounds till he reached the 30. Moved the chains for Michigan.
Nice throw and catch. Nice play design, too, because they put Donovan out. They want to see what type of matchup. Who's going to go out with them? Alabama does not want to end up in a situation where they put a linebacker on Donovan Edwards that far outside. So they pushed everybody out one, and you get what you want with Samaj Morgan.
Kalel Mullings and Donovan Edwards in the game for Michigan right now. And they got one of them split to either side of J.J. McCarthy in a shotgun. 1st and 10, tied at 7. Michigan with the ball on their own 30-yard line. Handoff to Edwards running right. Donovan turns it upfield, puts his head down, and runs over Bama tackler out to the 38-yard line. A gain of 8 on 1st down. Terrion Arnold took the punishment from Michigan's number 7 there.
Yeah, and I love the fact right now Michigan is winning at the line of scrimmage. That was a nice blow delivered by Donovan Edwards. But you had Drake Nugent about another 8 yards downfield blocking a linebacker, Tresman Marshall. And that's a nice sign that this offensive line knows it wants to make a statement today.
57 seconds to go, first quarter. 2nd down and 2. JJ in a shotgun. Claps his hands. Handoff. Kalel Mullings running left and breaks a tackle. He's got the first down. And a flag comes flying in. Out to the 44-yard line is Kalel Mullings. But I do not like the flag that was thrown there from the back judge.
It was really late. And it wasn't at the point of attack.
Somebody get their hands on Kalel's face mask, maybe?
That's what I'm thinking there.
Well, possibly. I mean, that was one that was picked up simply because Kalel Mullins refused to go down.
Bama's pointing that it's against Michigan, Dallas Turner specifically. We await Michael Vanderveld's call.
The question will be when the penalty happened, what it is. Did Michigan already have the first down?
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 44, offense, 15-yard penalty, still be 2nd down.
So it wasn't a post-play penalty. Jim Harbaugh doesn't like this. He was out on the field seeking an explanation.
Unnecessary roughness on Max Bredesen. And I'm guessing it had to be the location of a block.
Bredesen looks confused, completely confused. Like, what? Well, that backs up Michigan and puts him, instead of a first down at the 45, it's 2nd down and 11.
Oh, you got to be kidding
Back on the 28. Empty backfield. JJ in a shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. JJ claps his hands, back to pass. He's going to go QB draw up the middle. Not much there as he's dropped as he gets across the line of scrimmage before Damon Payne out of Belleville, Michigan, brings him down after a gain of about 2.
So the penalty, I saw the replay, and it was Caleb Downs had been knocked down by Max Bredesen, and Max Bredesen decided that it wasn't enough. He wanted to plant him 3 or 4 feet under the ground, and I'm surprised. I've not seen that call before.
Wolverines will be looking at a 3rd down and 9 when the second quarter begins, as that was the final play of quarter number 1. Wolverines and Bama tied at 7 here in Pasadena in the national semifinals. Tied at 7 with the Wolverines looking at a 3rd down and 9 on the first play of the second quarter. Michigan responding to Alabama's touchdown early on that came via some help from the Wolverines themselves after a fumble punt by Samaj Morgan. But, John, early in this game, some good trends for Michigan. Michigan with 6 first downs to Bama's 2. Michigan 10 carries for 64 yards. Bama 8 carries, 27 yards. Wolverines 5 of 8 through the air. Bama just 1 of 2. Michigan 102 total yards to Alabama's 38. And leading up to this game, I wondered what rush defense we'd see for Bama. Was it the one that gave up 244 yards against Auburn, who ran for 5.8 yards per clip? Or the one that gave up just 2.7 yards per rush and 114 total yards to Georgia? And early on, Michigan has established a bit of a run game here.
They have, and obviously for Michigan, it's been about self-inflicted wounds. When things have gone well and they've done things right and they've been disciplined, they've found success on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. It's just a matter of trying to stay disciplined and don't allow Alabama free plays.
5 wide for the Wolverines. Now they shift Donovan Edwards into the backfield on 3rd down and 9. JJ claps his hands, back to pass, looking downfield, fires over the middle. He's got his man, Samaj Morgan's got to make a guy miss, and it gets thrown to the ground, body slam style, by Kool-Aid McKinstry. I've seen that flag for personal foul in the past, but coming up just short of the first down is Samaj Morgan, and no help from the official there.
No, some of that is obviously Samaj's small stature and the fact that he was trying to spin out himself. I wouldn't have expected a flag on that play. I know we've seen it before, but Samaj Morgan trying to make a play and just came up a little bit short.
Jim Harbaugh elects to send the punt team onto the field. Tommy Doman is deep. He's got the snap, puts his right foot into it, and coming up to fair catch it is Caleb Downs looking into that sun, and he makes the catch at the 24-yard line. And that's where Bama will take over for their first possession here of the second quarter.
Yeah, it'll be interesting now because Alabama, I know they took they wanted to put Michigan in a position to have to catch. Right now, they're going to be coming out of a situation at the 24-yard line where half the field is in sun, the other half in shadow, and I know that can make it a bit of a challenge to catch the ball and obviously locate it and track it.
Bama comes out with 2 receivers split to the wide side. That is the left, and Milroe in a shotgun. Michigan fans getting into it, making some noise. Tied at 7, early second quarter. Back to pass is Milroe. Here comes the blitz, and down he goes. Michael Barrett, shot out of a cannon, drops Jalen Milroe, the 3rd sack of the game for the Michigan defense.
They are harassing a young Jalen Milroe, and the thing I like about this is sooner or later, Jalen Milroe, he's going to get a little gun shy. He's going to wonder where everybody's coming from, and there's really not much of a secret in that one. They lined up Mike Barrett. He showed blitz. He came. They didn't pick him up. Michigan ends up with its 3rd sack now, and keep hitting Jalen Milroe because he will throw you the ball.
4 of his 6 interceptions this year came against the blitz. Loss of 8. 2nd down and 18. Milroe back to pass. Here comes the pass rush again, and down he goes again. The Wolverines' 4th sack of the ball game, and we are early second quarter.
Yeah, they are struggling to protect Jalen Milroe. And here's the other thing. Before that hit even happened, his eyes were down. He was looking at the pass rush, not looking downfield to try and make a throw.
John, they're collapsing the pocket from the inside out. This is a matchup that we thought Michigan might be able to take advantage of, and so far they have. As Milroe's dropped for another loss, and he's looking at 3rd down in Tuscaloosa. We got to get this play off. Play clock at 3. Milroe doesn't see it. Play clock hits 0, takes the snap. Going to go QB run up the middle to the 20, and he's dropped right there. Big hit by Quentin Johnson coming up from his safety spot, well short of the first down as he got out to the 22-yard line, just a couple yards shy of the original line of scrimmage. And that is the second Alabama 3-and-out, the second possession. Well, the Wolverines have come up with two sacks.
Tony. Did you guys see our safeties come up there and try to annihilate Milroe?
Oh, yeah,
right
they're
there?
trying to take his head off.
Oh, my God.
And they are playing, it'd be, the easy thing is to say they're playing with an edge. They're out there hunting right now.
It's a miracle James Burnip back in the game to punt for Alabama as he puts his right foot into this one. No rush. Gets off a high punt. Samaj Morgan, it'll be a fair catch at his own 29-yard line. And that's where Michigan will take over. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Michigan football from Learfield. Doug Karsch, John Jansen, Jason Avant down on the field from the Rose Bowl. Michigan and Alabama tied at 7. The Wolverines overcoming an early mistake have fought back and feel like they are on the brink of taking control of this game, but it's still very early. Michigan will have it on their own 30-yard line. Myers, the presenting sponsor of the 2023 Michigan football season and a proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest.
Yeah, other than the 34-yard touchdown run that Alabama had and the gift that was given by Samaj Morgan, this has been a defense that has absolutely dominated Alabama.
And look at this, Alex Orji in at quarterback for Michigan from the 30-yard line. Orji in a shotgun, empty backfield. Orji claps his hands, takes the snap, gonna go QB draw. Makes one man miss, now fights through a tackle out close to the 34-yard line. Good gain on first down by Alex Orji.
Don't be surprised to see him throw the ball at some point. Now, I know that he's in there to run the ball, but I would not be surprised to see him drop back and throw the ball, even if it's just an easy out, just to break a tendency of him being in there, and obviously J.J. back in there for second down.
He played the role of Jalen Milroe for the scout team in practice leading up to this game. Shotgun for J.J. McCarthy, who's back in the game. Pistol formation with Blake Corum right behind him on 2nd and 6. J.J. back to pass. Looks like he wants to take a shot. It's going to fire far side for Cornelius Johnson, a little too tall. As C.J. was looking back into the sun, too. Just coming out of his break at the Bama 45-yard line. It'll be third down.
Yeah, that ball was thrown. I kind of feel like J.J. rushed it just a hair, threw that maybe a split second early, thinking that Cornelius was going to go a little bit deeper, overthrew it just a little bit. If you're going to overthrow it, you want to throw it on the sidelines. But would have been nice to have a conversion on that one.
On 3rd and 6. Donovan Edwards in the game. Watch out for him out of the backfield. J.J. in a shotgun. From their own 34-yard line, J.J.'s going to roll right. Looking downfield, fires far side, incomplete. Looking for Roman Wilson, who's trying to get a flag. Trey Amos was the man in coverage. Roman said he grabbed him around the hip.
I'm okay with them letting these guys on the edge play. We've seen some physical play by the corners and the wide receivers, but here's what I like about this Michigan passing attack so far. They've gotten J.J., they've moved the pocket a little bit, but the protection has been really good for him. At some point, this offense is going to find a little bit more rhythm in the pass game. I just would like to see them, hey, if you're running the ball at 4, 5, 6 yards a pop, let's keep going that route.
Tommy Doman standing on his own 19-yard line. Clean snap, puts his right foot into it, and this is why he leads the country in hang time. That one's straight up the elevator shaft and comes down at the 30-yard line where Caleb Downs signals for and makes a successful fair catch. Now, if you're Alabama and you've given up 4 sacks already, what is offensive coordinator Tommy Rees to dial up here?
Well, he's going to have to dial up the run game. They're going to try and attack in between the tackles where they've had some success. But if you're going to try and max protect, here's the thing, is Michigan, it has the ability now to be able to send 5, 6, 7 guys, load up the box, get after the quarterback, max protection. You're only sending 1 or 2 weapons downfield. Limited options for a quarterback.
Alabama will have it 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line when we continue. Tied at 7 in Pasadena, early second quarter. This is Michigan football from Learfield. Doug Karsch, John Jansen, Jason Avant, Brian Bush, our spotter, Bob Rossick, our statistician, Tony Butler, of course, our engineer. Wolverines and Alabama tied at 7 here, 10:50 to go, second quarter, and Bama's got the football back. Today's broadcast is brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Now, if you're Bama, we talked about what they might try and do. If I were Jesse Minter, Michigan's defensive coordinator, who's dialed up quite a pass rush today, I would have the radar up for Milroe and some QB run stuff.
Yeah, they'll probably try and attack the edge just a little bit, but as I mentioned before, McClellan's not a guy that really can attack the edge very well. He's a between the tackles type of, or at least style of runner.
And it is McClellan in the backfield in a pistol formation behind Jalen Milroe. 1st and 10, Alabama. Now they shift McClellan off to the right hip of Jalen Milroe. Now they shift him to the left and jam everybody in tight to the left. Milroe looking over the Michigan defense. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Handoff up the middle, McClellan. He's across the 30 out to the 33-yard line where he is stacked up. Junior Colson leading the Michigan tacklers. Gain of 3 on 1st down.
And here's the difference. Jason Avant was talking about this earlier, where Michigan has a lot of moving parts before the snap, and all of a sudden you see, hey, defense is trying to adjust. A lot of moving parts right before that. You had 4 or 5 different guys changing position before the snap, and nobody on Michigan's defense moved. They don't have to. They can adjust with the personnel that they have on the field.
Alabama also might be trying to get the ball to the wide receivers here a little bit. They've been very quiet early on. Milroe in a shotgun on 2nd down and 7. Brings a man in motion and will hand it off up the middle. McClellan will be dropped for a loss. The Wolverines, Jalen Harrell was back there. The senior out of Tampa. And Junior Colson as well. That's a 2-yard loss on 2nd down and 7.
Well, a nice job by Jalen Harrell of just winning a one-on-one matchup. Coming inside, and it's just a miscommunication, really, by that Alabama offensive line. They're really disoriented right now.
3rd down and 9 for Bama. Empty backfield for Jalen Milroe. 2 receivers to the boundary side, and Jim Harbaugh is going to take a timeout before Alabama can get this snap off. Saw something he didn't like.
The defense was confused on the back end, and he saw it and called a timeout.
So Mikey Sainristil left 2 plays ago. I wondered if he lost his helmet, and Jaden McBurrows has been in there. Is that what it was? Was it a helmet, or did he leave the game hemmed up?
No, not hemmed up. He lost his helmet on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so he came back in.
Thank you.
Well, I was just mentioning that Alabama offensive line is discombobulated, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that Jesse Minter is throwing a lot at him right now.
All right, 3rd and long for Bama here. 3rd down and 9 from their own 31-yard line. Bama 1 for 4 on 3rd down, in large part because they've been well behind the sticks.
They've been well behind the sticks, and Jesse Minter has changed up a number of different looks. Right before we went to break, I was talking about the discombobulation of this offensive line for Alabama. There's been so many guys moving and shifting up front, lining up in unique positions for Michigan's defense. They're just having a hard time communicating.
Empty backfield for Milroe. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Fakes a handoff, runs up the middle, and he's got nothing there. Dropped by Mikey Sainristil coming up from his safety spot. Jalen Milroe gets a yard on 3rd and 9, and Bama will be forced to punt following their 3rd 3-and-out of this ballgame.
Quarterback read option, and we've seen it so many times, guys in position, and it's hard to take down a mobile quarterback. Great job by Mikey Sainristil putting his head across Jalen Milroe, tackling him with his shoulder and his body. I mean, that's textbook right there for a defensive back.
Also, great job by Junior Colson running the alley and not being tempted to contain Mikey Sainristil's position. Great team defense right there.
Burnett back to punt. Samaj Morgan standing on his own 19-yard line. Clean snap. Burnett rolls to the right and gets it off. Morgan will come up and let it bounce at the 27-yard line. It'll take a Bama roll inside the 20, down to the 17, to the 16-yard line, and that's where Michigan will take over.
More yards for Michigan's offense. More opportunity.
52-yard punt. Wonder how much the first fumbled punt was in Samaj's mind as he tried to charge up and save that hidden yardage and backed off at the last second.
Well, I'm sure that's all part of it. But when you've got a guy like Henderson Jr., who was running down there, they're gunners. That's one thing that this Alabama team has that is consistent with other Alabama teams. That's speed.
Wolverines will shift 3 players in tight. Blake Corum in the backfield. Darius Clemens now the lone wide receiver. Hand off to Corum, who bounces it outside across the 20 and fights across the 24-yard line to the 25-yard line. Good yardage on first down. The Michigan run game continues to churn here in Pasadena.
Yeah, and you can pick up 7.5, 8 yards on first down, and it's basically just, hey, put your head down, run straight ahead. After contact, you get a chance to pick up some more yardage. It's a great job of this offensive line of keeping their shoulders square. You don't always have to drive a guy 7, 8 yards down the field. It's really hard to do, but if you just stay in their way, you mirror them sometimes, they can't make a play.
Second down and a long 2 for the Michigan offense. JJ turns and hands it off to Corum, makes a man miss in the backfield, gets the first down out across the 28 to the 29-yard line. Blake Corum with a little magic in the backfield. A disappearing act. It was Justin Eboigbe who broke through and came up empty.
Yeah, JJ made an adjustment at the line of scrimmage, and great job by Blake Corum of being able to make a guy miss. And sometimes, hey, when you have movement up front, it can be hard to block. They can blitz. You can hit it at the same gap, but sometimes you run right by those blitzers, and that's exactly what Blake was able to do.
First and 10 Michigan from their own 29-yard line. 7 minutes to go in the half, tied at 7. Pistol formation, Blake Corum behind J.J. McCarthy. Corum takes the handoff. Weaves through some tacklers, but not much there as he's dragged down from behind by Eboigbe, who this time drops Blake Corum for a gain of 2.
Yeah, I like the fact that Michigan has come out, established the run again. They're taking their shots. Now don't be surprised at some point to see that play action, even though Alabama may say, you know what, hey, 2nd 8, they might go play action. You still got to honor that run, and it's all you need is a split second for those linebackers to bite.
2nd down and 8. Donovan Edwards in the backfield now for Michigan. Samaj Morgan goes in motion out to the right. JJ passes over the middle. He's got Colston Loveland at the 40. Colston is across the 42 and thrown to the ground there. First down for Michigan as JJ fired a bullet over the middle to his big tight end out of Gooding, Idaho. 12 yards.
They faked that little toss that they've run a number of times to Donovan Edwards, and that's exactly what it was. All it was linebackers. It was 2 steps forward, bit on that run fake, and then all of a sudden there's Colston. Nice easy toss over the top for a first down.
JJ will take a snap from under center. Donovan Edwards, alone running back. Toss sweep to Edwards, who will turn and throw it back to JJ, who catches it with one hand, fires deep to Roman Wilson, who's got it at the 40 and out of bounds inside the Bama 40 down to the 39. As Sharon Moore goes deep into the playbook, JJ took a hit and he's slow getting up.
Yeah, that pass was a little bit high. Obviously, a nice catch by JJ. It was so wide open. All he had to do was throw it up, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Jim Harbaugh maybe take a timeout here. It's taking a long time to get set up. That clock starts, and JJ still doesn't look like he's 100%.
Yeah, they have to call a timeout here.
Only 12 seconds on the play clock, and the Wolverines just went into the huddle. It was Dallas Turner that had the hit on J.J. McCarthy. Michigan will have to hurry. J.J. under center, inside of 5 on the play clock, puts a man in motion. J.J. takes the snap, hands it off to Corum, running right. Oh, chopped down. There was a big hole there and a lot of green grass in front of him, but a Bama defender did a great job bringing down Blake Corum. It was Caleb Downs up from his safety spot, the freshman All-American. Not a freshman All-American team member, but a true freshman who is a first-team All-American.
Yeah, a tremendous player. And, you know, sometimes I understand wanting to run the play, not spend the timeout, but, man.
Inside of 5 minutes to go, first half, tied at 7. 2nd down and 10 for Michigan. JJ takes the snap, hands it off to Donovan Edwards, and he's met in the backfield and fights back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Tim Keenan, the defensive tackle, brings him down, and Michigan will be looking at a 3rd and long. JJ still looks like he's trying to get the cobwebs out. He's adjusting his helmet after taking that big hit on the double pass.
He has a lot of dirt and debris and stuff in his helmet. Yes.
Yeah. 3rd down and 10 for Michigan from the Bama 38. Probably need another 4 or 5 yards to get into JT field goal range. JJ in a shotgun. Got 3 receivers split to the left, 1 to the right is Colston Loveland. JJ back to pass, looking, fires over the middle. He's got his man. That's Tyler Morris. First down. Tyler Morris down the sideline to the end zone. Tyler Morris is touchdown. He's in on 3rd and 10. on a crossing route to Tyler Morris, who was hurt in the pregame, and he just scored a 38-yard touchdown.
Of Steve Breaston in a Rose Bowl against Texas on a crossing route just like that, Tyler Morris.
Great job, great pass protection. We knew at some point, hey, Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell, the ability to apply pressure by this Alabama defense, we knew Michigan was going to have to protect. They did. They're going to pick and choose your times, and a great job by JJ is standing in the pocket and finding Tyler Morris.
Meanwhile, Alabama's got to be looking at their scouting report going, who is that? 38 yards, the first touchdown of the season for Tyler Morris. Down the far sideline, JT is on for the extra point. It's a bad snap, and it rolls out near the 25-yard line where the Wolverines will fall on it, and the extra point is no good. Well, that's unfortunate.
It is, and it just seems like every time Michigan does something good, they do something to allow Alabama an easy out.
13-7, that 38-yard touchdown pass to Tyler Morris, brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Wolverines on top. We'll circle back to the Morris injury in pregame warm-ups when we continue. 3:49 to go first half, and the Wolverines up by 6. Back in Pasadena, Michigan on top of Alabama, 13-7. Tyler Morris, who was injured in pregame warm-ups, and Jason Avant, we saw him down on the ground. He was practicing fielding punch, looking back into the sun, and a couple minutes later we look back, and he was on the ground for a good 2-3 minutes with Ron Bellamy, the wide receiver coach out over there, and the training staff took him to the locker room. We had you on the story to find out if he was even going to play today.
Yeah, we were looking at it, trying to figure out what happened. We thought that he may be hurt. He came out for warm-ups. He looked great on that play, and so I guess he's fine. And I want to let the fans know it's Doug before the game with his binoculars looking at the players breathe. He caught it. So you being an investigator caught that injury.
I mean, look.
Hey, just a great job by you. You're seeing everything.
Well, we said before the game, Michigan needs to get Tyler Morris and Kalel Mullings more involved in the pass game. And they have 2 of the 3 longest catches in this
of
game
the day.
for Michigan. 38 yards to Morris on that touchdown on a crossing route. And then Mullings, 19 yards on the Wolverines' first touchdown scoring drive. Meanwhile, that drive, as John, you said, more yards for the offense after the punt rolled, 83 yards on 8 plays over 4 minutes and 43 seconds. It included a double pass. Unfortunately, the extra point, bad snap. Michigan's lead is 13-7 with 3:49 to go in the half. As Tommy Doman puts his right foot into it, and it looks like Bama's going to bring it out. Across the 15, it drilled! As he got to the 15, a member of the Wolverines special teams arrived with bad intentions, and Alabama will take the snap from inside their 20.
I mentioned this earlier. Michigan is playing with some violence. They are bringing it today. Defensively, we've seen it getting after the quarterback. Special teams now, that's a hit that's going to fire up this team as the defense takes the field.
They just fired up the crowd right there, for sure.
Jimmy Rolder was the man that delivered the hit, and Bama will take over on their 16-yard line. They've had 4 3-and-outs. That ties a season high as Jesse Minter's crew is doing the job. Shotgun for Jalen Milroe, 1st and 10, standing on his own 10-yard line, takes the snap. Play action, rolls to his right, looking downfield, fires, and it's caught. But it was the inbounds. They are ruling him inbounds at the own 43-yard line as he finds Isaiah Bond, who's on the receiving end of the Milroe miracle. Good gain there for Alabama. Their first reception by a wide receiver today.
Yeah, at some point they're going to make some plays. That's why it's frustrating when you have, an extra point like that. You don't want it to come back and haunt you.
Ball spotted at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10 for Alabama. Michigan leading 13-7, 3:16 to go first half. Jalen Milroe in a shotgun, takes the snap. Play action, back to pass, looking downfield, wants to find his man Burton, who's in man coverage, locked up down there by Will Johnson, who is in phase the entire way, and it falls incomplete out of bounds.
Great coverage by Will Johnson. They tried to go double move on him. He didn't bite. He mirrored him the entire way, and as you mentioned, he was in phase with him. And there was nowhere for Milroe to even throw the ball. He ended up throwing it out of bounds, but no chance for completion on that one.
And Will Johnson let him know about it, too, the entire way back.
Burton is their big play receiver. He has touchdowns in 3 straight games. Shotgun for Milroe with 3 rides, split to the wide side. Now they bring Burton in motion to the near side. Milroe back to pass, fires underneath to Burton, who's got it to 50 and steps out of bounds right there. Mike Barrett, the man that forced him out, with 2:57 to go in the half. And Bama looking at a 3rd down and about 4.
Well, they moved Burton over in motion, and they brought Will Johnson off the edge. Mike Barrett came from his linebacker position. Nice job of covering up on the back end.
Burton leaves the field, and Bama brings in an extra tight end. And the Wolverines will sub slowly with the clock running. 2:37 to go. Bama looking at a 3rd and 4. They're down by 6. From the Michigan 49-yard line. Big play here for the Michigan defense. Bama will get the ball first to start the second half. Jalen Milroe in a shotgun. Play clock winding down. Gets the snap off. Hand off Jace McClellan, who's going to get the first down across the 45. Rod Moore up from his safety spot to make the tackle. Gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Alabama is really trying to create a situation where they can get some double teams at the point of attack. They got double team on Mason Graham on that one. Chris Jenkins was singled up. Whoever gets singled up, and you never really know who it's going to be, you've got to find a way to win that matchup and get off the block to be able to make a play.
Ball on the Michigan 44-yard line, 1:51 to go in the half. McClellan in a shotgun. 2 receivers split to the left. In the backfield, and we get a flag. And the Bama players are clapping, but I think this is going to be a false start.
Yeah, the center moved the ball.
False start, number 56. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's a guy who's had his share of struggles this year, Seth McLaughlin. Back up Bama 5 yards to the 50. Clock stop with 1:43 to go in the half.
Little half snap.
Now the clock's running again. 1:35 to go. Michigan with a 6-point lead. Set 1st and 15 for Bama. Milroe in a shotgun. Claps his hands, takes the snap, back to pass. Looking downfield, all kinds of time. He's going to take a shot deep, and Rod Moore is out there and breaks it up. Boy, Rod Moore in great position there to make a play on a football that was intended for Kendrick Law on a deep shot at the Michigan goal line, but it looked like Law gets more of a pass breakup than Rod Moore there. And
yeah, Rod Moore did a nice job, and here's the thing, Jalen Milroe, when they call a deep shot, it's like he's going for it no matter what. He had a couple of options on some shallower routes that might have put them, in a more advantageous position to convert on 2nd down. But it feels like, hey, if they call a deep shot, he's going to take it no matter what.
1:16 to go in the half. 2nd and 15 for Alabama. Milroe. Play action, back to pass again. Here comes a pass rush, and he's going to run, and he's got room. 45, 40. 35, and he's chopped down, but gets the first down. It was Rod Moore up from his safety spot. That's Jalen Milroe down to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, we took a chance there. We played man-to-man, which left him one-on-one there. So that's a tough job by our defense in that situation.
17 yards there, 1 minute to go. Clock running. Bama with Milroe. Back to pass, fires over the middle. He's got his man at the 25-yard line. Michigan's defense closes quickly on Amari Nyblack, the tight end. And we get a whistle, and Bama takes a timeout with 48 seconds to go. Gain of, what was that, 5?
Yeah, it looks like it, 4. But, yeah, they're going to try and take a couple of quick shots, try and preserve as much clock as they possibly can, get up, get set. And here's where that extra point plays a role is, you'd like Michigan to be able to hold them to a field goal, possibly, get a sack, get them out of field goal range. But if Alabama were to score, they're going to go in possibly up 1 when Michigan has really dominated this first half. And it's really Michigan self-inflicted wounds have allowed Alabama their initial touchdown, but to be able to stay in the game.
I like the way the Wolverines are playing, but Bama with a chance here to cut into the Michigan lead with 49 seconds to go in the half. So they got 2 timeouts. Their kicker is very good. Will Reichert is the all-time career points leader in college football. He went through a stretch where he missed 3 of 6 late in the year, but he has a school record 8 field goals of beyond 50. If they don't gain him another yard, this one would be about 49. Second down and 5 for Bama. Back to pass is Milroe. Fires. He's got Isaiah Bond, and he's dropped for a 1-yard gain on a little wide receiver tunnel screen. Junior Colson was the man on the spot there. Clock running, 40 seconds to go. And Bama looking at a 3rd and a long 3.
That was a really nice open field tackle by Junior Colson. Not easy to do, especially with the hand wrapped up.
Surprised Bama didn't use a timeout. We're inside 30 seconds to go. 3rd and 3. Here comes the rush, and down goes Milroe. It was Derek Moore off the edge, and Milroe is dropped at the 34-yard line, which will either force a very long field goal or a 4th and 10. They mark it at the 32. So this is well within Reichard's range.
Yeah, I think Nick Saban's going to take the points.
He took a timeout with 8 seconds to go in the half.
For the possibility of taking the points.
If you're number 8 for the University of Michigan right now, you're balling, baby.
It's a good number to have on.
Hey, I love to see it.
Jason, of course, wearing the number 8 back in his day for people who don't know. And yeah, Tyler Morris with a touchdown, and now Derek Moore with a sack.
Called their second charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Well, and
Game clock
here's
operator,
the thing.
please reset the game clock to 14.
It sounds like they're going to reset the game clock to 13 seconds. But they brought Mikey Sanders still on that, and it put the tackle in a position where you can only block 5 guys. They bring 6. The tackle, the right tackle, J.C. Latham, was put in a position to, am I going to take Mikey Sanders still, who's coming in the B gap, or I'm going to, block Derek Moore, who's coming outside. He tried to block both, ended up really not blocking either, but Jesse Minter is doing a great job of changing up looks and making it very hard for this Alabama offensive line to protect Milroe.
Burnip will hold, and Will Reichert, this is actually going to be right at the 40-yard line spotted. He is 3 for 3 from 50-plus this year, and I mentioned a school record, 8 50-yarders. This is from the left hash. Snap is good, and the kick from Reichert is on the way, and it is good. With 7 seconds to go in the half, Bama has drawn within a field goal, 13-10. Well, John and Jason, I have a trivia question for you guys.
Oh.
Last time Michigan played Bama was in the Citrus Bowl following the 2019 season, 5 years ago. Who was Michigan's leading receiver that day? And I'll give you a hint. He will have a jersey on today.
Who was the leading receiver that day?
He has a jersey on today.
He has a jersey on today.
5th-year senior?
I'm done with my hints, Jason. I gave you a hint.
Shoot. I don't know. Was it wasn't Sanders still?
Hey,
was it?
Mikey Sanders still.
It was not Mikey Sanders.
Or Junior Cornelius.
It was not Cornelius.
I don't know, Doug.
It was Giles Jackson, who will have his jersey on for Washington tonight against Texas, who is hurt, but I imagine he will have his jersey. Is it a bad question?
That's a bad question.
Yeah, I want to choke you right now.
Can we wait till after the game?
I'll hold it. I kind of knew something like that was coming when you said he'll have his jersey on today, and I thought, well, there's no NFL games on today, but...
Well, he's hurt and won't play for Washington, but I suspect he will be wearing his jersey on the sidelines, as injured players do. Kickoff into the end zone, and the ball will be brought out to the 25-yard line. And Michigan will go into the victory formation and take this snap with 7 seconds to go in the half. As JJ takes the snap, takes the knee, and Michigan will head to the locker room. Overall, I would describe this as a positive first half for the Wolverines, leading 13-10. Feels like it could and maybe should be more.
Yeah, and until that last completion there by Jalen Milroe, the Michigan, the discrepancy between yards was even greater. But right now it's 197 for Michigan, 96 for Alabama. Michigan has dominated the line of scrimmage. It's simply been self-inflicted wounds and mistakes that Michigan has made, whether it's Samaj Morgan, Max Bredesen with the penalty, the missed extra point. There, you could point to a number of different things where Michigan has prevented themselves from widening the gap against Alabama.
Wolverines lead at 13-10. As we go to the half here, Alabama will get the ball to start quarter number 3. Let's go down to the field. Jason Avant, what was the message from Jim Harbaugh to his team in the halftime locker room?
For the offense, let's insert our will on them. Let's lean and control the line of scrimmage. We can run the ball inside against this team. Eventually, the 3 and 4 yards are going to turn into 6 and 7. Let's be patient with the crossing routes. Work hard and pass pro. On the defensive side, let's keep pressuring Milroe. Don't give up an inch on the line. Keep Milroe contained, collapse the pocket, and tackle in the open field. And as far as the team, leave it all on the field for 30 minutes. We've come too far and strained too much, to come up short in this game. So we have to stay together. So that was the message for Coach Harbaugh.
Well, they've done a great job of that all season long, and some pretty shocking first half numbers. Michigan basically doubling up Alabama on almost every front. 9 first downs to 5, 82 rush yards to 43, 115 pass yards to 53. Total yards, Michigan 197 to Alabama's 96 total yards in the first half. But the big number might be that 1 turnover Michigan committed. And we heard Jim Harbaugh talk in the pregame show about what their record was at Michigan, what his record at Michigan was when they won the turnover battle. It's 48-2 is the official number. But when Michigan loses the turnover battle, 15-18 under Jim Harbaugh. Now when tied, they're 24-5.
Yeah, I mean, the turnover margin is always a great indicator of who's going to win the game. You don't even have to see the results, but you can look at the turnover margin and find out who won the game. This is an opportunity for Michigan. Right now, coming out, they are kicking off to Alabama. That offensive line for Alabama has got a lot of questions. They've got a lot of doubt running around in between the ears right now. And for Jesse Minter to come out, for this defensive front 7 to come out, you've got to continue that pressure on Jalen Milroe.
Kendrick Law is deep for Bama, and he brought the last one out and got drilled when he got to the 15-yard line. He doesn't stop this one, but he only gets to the 12 before he's undercut and dropped and spotted at the 14-yard line. I believe it was Jermon Green, the man that came up with the special teams tackle there, and Bama will start with poor field position once again.
Yeah, you got to love a guy that wants to make something happen, but it comes down to decisions, and it's not a great decision if you can only get out to about the 14-yard line. That's 11 that you've left out there if you just fair catch it or let that ball go into the end zone.
So Bama from the 14-yard line with Jalen Milroe, who's 5 of 8 through the air, 53 yards. But running the football because of the sack yardage held to -2 yards in the first half. Wolverine defense with 5 sacks. And I'm sure Tommy Rees will try and scheme something up, the Bama offensive coordinator, and Milroe throws it quickly out of the backfield to Jam Miller, RB3 for Alabama. And he gets it out to the 21-yard line, a gain of 2 before he's dropped right there by Jalen Harrell.
Well, I mentioned the between the ears for that offensive line for Alabama, and for Tommy Rees, it's going to be ball in the hands of Jalen Milroe and out as quickly as possible so that they could try and build a little confidence up front in terms of protection.
2nd down and 8 for Bama. Ball on their own 16-yard line, 3 receivers split to the left. They go inside handoff to Jam Miller, and he's got room across the 25 out near the 26-yard line before he's dropped by Rod Moore. Leading the Michigan tacklers. Move the chains, however. Good game there for Jam Miller.
Got to stay disciplined up front. You don't want to over-pursue, be too aggressive. Everybody wants to make a play. Everybody wants to have their name and lights coming out of the Rose Bowl, but you've got to be able to hold your position and be disciplined.
Stand corrected. That was Justice Haynes, the freshman out of Buford, Georgia. 1st and 10 Bama on their own 25-yard line. They give it to Haynes again. No play action. Back to pass is Milroe. Here comes the pass rush. He bails out of there and fires it to the sideline. Incomplete. Play action fake by Milroe. Fake me out, but not the Michigan pass rush. It was quickly in his lap. That pass incomplete on the Bama sideline at about the 32-yard line. Josh Wallace in coverage. Might have got a hand on it.
Nice job by Makari Page, Rod Moore, the secondary of Michigan, being disciplined, staying in their zones, following everybody through, making sure that there's no easy outlet for Jalen Milroe.
2nd down and 10 for Bama from the 25-yard line. Milroe in a shotgun. Bama pointing out some Michigan defenders shifting around. Late in the play clock, got to get the snap off. They do. Hand off to Haynes up the middle. Going to bounce it outside to the 30, splits a pair of defenders and dives forward, I believe, for the first down out at the 36-yard line. Well, they decided to go with the true freshman here in the second half, and he's given them a couple good runs. Move the chains again for Bama out to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, and he's got a good feel right now. Michigan, I mentioned, you can't over-pursue. Both of those first down runs have been cut back. They've been good at the point of attack, but you've got to be able to be disciplined backside so you can prevent that cutback.
Makari Page leading the Michigan tacklers on that play. 1st and 10, Milroe with a quick wide receiver screen to Bond. 40, 45, and dropped at the 45-yard line. Again, Makari Page in there for Michigan. Isaiah Bond with a gain of 8 on first down with a wide receiver screen.
Quick hitters. In terms of the pass game, we saw it early on in this drive. Ball in the hands and out of the hands of Jalen Milroe, and then attacking the edges.
Bama goes quickly. Milroe takes the snap, hands it off to McClellan, tries to bounce it outside. Mikey Samristo can't bring him down. First down as he gets to the 50 into Michigan territory before Samristo finally wrangles him out of bounds at the Michigan 46-yard line along the far sideline in front of the Bama bench. Move the chains again for Bama.
It's actually a really nice play by Mikey Samristo. He knows there's nobody behind him, and if he dives and misses on that tackle, Jason McClellan's going to end up in the end zone.
Looked like he might have had McClellan at the line of scrimmage, but you're right. If he doesn't make that tackle, McClellan might go to the house. Ball in the right hash now, 1st and 10 for Bama. They moved inside of Michigan territory. 12 minutes to go in the third quarter. Michigan up 13-10. Bad snap. It's on the ground. Milroe's back there, and he's going to fall on it at the 39-yard line. John, we've talked about Seth McLaughlin and the problems he's had, and that's another bad snap and a big-time loss for Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, so many of these kids come out of high school, and all they do is shotgun snap. So it's surprising when that's what you've done your entire life that you would struggle throughout the course of a college football season by being able to get the ball back to the quarterback. There wasn't even anybody lined up head up on top of McLaughlin.
That's a loss of 14. 2nd down and 24 back at the Michigan 40. Alabama goes 4 wide, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Milroe takes a snap, another bad snap, and he has to fall on it, and the Wolverines bring him down. John, it's been a disaster in QB center exchange here. Josiah Stewart's going to get credited with what is now the 7th Michigan snap, and we see on the replay, Milroe is looking frustrated.
Well, and I tell you what, I would line up, that was Cam Good on top of the center that time. I would line up somebody head up on top of McLaughlin every single play to put pressure on him. If he can't snap it with anybody, with no one on top of him, he sure isn't going to be able to do it and block someone.
Well, this is a team that converted a 4th and goal from the 31, and they're looking at 3rd and 29. Milroe's going to hand it off to McClellan up the middle to the 40, and he's stacked up and dropped right there at the 41. The Michigan defense will force an Alabama punt, and Alabama implodes on what was a promising drive to open up the second half with the Crimson Tide. And with 10:26 to go in the game, Michigan will get the football back.
Boy, it sure was, man.
Third quarter, not the game, third quarter.
They were picking up first downs, those cutback runs, quick passes. They found a rhythm offensively, something that worked for them, but then those miscues on the snaps, boy, that really hurt them.
Burnham standing on his own 27-yard line. Samaj Morgan on his own 9. Good snap. Puts his right foot into it, and one of the nation's best punter booms off a rocket. They'll be fielded at the 5 by Samaj. Up the middle to the 10, spins out of 1 tackle, and then gets drilled at the 13-yard line, and that's where Michigan will take over. Wolverines leading at 13-10 with 9:48 to go in the third quarter. That's a 53-yard punt and a 7-yard return. Wolverines with a chance to create some separation. They did take 1 snap with the football in the lead, but that was the kneel down at the end of the second quarter. And Michigan, the third quarter, has been, well, it's been dominant for the Wolverines this year, outscoring opponents 143-21. Defense got to stop. Now the offense has the football back, but a lot of football field in front of them from their own 13-yard line. JJ in a shotgun with the ball in the left hash. Blake Corum standing on his own 5. They'll go handoff Corum up the middle, and not much there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Might have been dropped for a short loss as Bama's defensive front gets the job done there. No gain. Caleb Downs and Tim Keenan combined on the tackle. Downs coming up from his safety spot.
Alabama's starting to move everybody up front. They're starting to stunt, slant, move bodies. They're not going to play straight up against this Michigan front. And when that happens, you got to be really disciplined in your footwork. you cross over and you have no chance of blocking anybody that's pinching across your face.
Donovan Edwards in the Michigan backfield here on 2nd down and 10. JJ claps his hands, toss sweep to Edwards running left. Can he turn the corner? Gets tripped up as he gets to the 15-yard line. Good pursuit there from Bama. Short gain for Donovan Edwards. Deontay Lawson, the linebacker, getting the job done.
Well, they pulled a Darius Henderson out to the outside there, trying to get him big body on a little body, and he just needs to peek inside and stay inside just a touch longer, because that's where all of the help is coming from. Deontay Lawson coming from that inside linebacker position.
Bama fans trying to get into it. It's 3rd and 9 for Michigan. 3 receivers split to the right. JJ in a shotgun. Ball on Michigan's 13-yard line. Claps his hands, back to pass is JJ. Now he's going to bail out of there to the right, looking downfield. JJ thinking about running. Now he fires late, and it's caught right in front of the Michigan bench on the near sideline. They're going to say out of bounds. Cornelius Johnson was the man that laid out for that one. We're going to wait a replay to see if we can figure this one out. But if it's call stands, Michigan will go 3 and out on their first possession of the second half.
Well, nice awareness of JJ getting outside and trying to extend the play. Better decision this time.
This one might be worth a look.
Yeah, I think they are. We hear the whistle. We're going to take a look.
Yeah, I like it. This is going to be awfully close. Cornelius has a foot down as we look at the replay. I don't know.
I think he's in. I think he's dragging that foot.
If they, it's going to be, can they determine that the foot was definitely down?
Oh, yeah.
You think it's pretty clear?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty clear. The toe is bending backwards.
Look at this. Yeah, he's got the ball secured.
Oh, yeah.
That looks like his foot's down. And this would be good for a Michigan first down.
First down.
Jason, did you have a view of that one at all?
I'm right in front of it, but these guys are so tall I can't see in that situation. So
we get you a box to stand on if you need to.
I'm definitely standing on a box right now.
Are you on a Gatorade cooler?
I am.
Well, it's dangerous now. Those could be a little tipsy.
Well, yeah, I have to be an athlete.
The receiver completes the process of the catch with the left foot in bounds. It's first down, Michigan.
Good call, John Jansen. Move the chains for the Wolverines as Cornelius Johnson makes one heck of a catch on the sidelines.
Oh, it was a great catch and a great throw and a nice job by JJ. Hey, there are times where he's going to have to make plays with his feet in the run game. There are other times where he's going to have to make plays by just extending the play. We've seen him do it all year and then make an accurate throw, and he was able to do it on that one.
Ball on the 26-yard line. Wolverines with 3 receivers split to the left. Blake Corum in the backfield. 1st and 10 for Michigan, leading 13-10, third quarter. JJ takes the snap. Handoff, Blake Corum up the middle, powers behind his offensive line, and they push the Bama defense back, blocking sled style, and give Blake 3 yards on first down out to the 29-yard line.
And I'll take 3 yards on that one every single time. I mentioned it before. Even if Alabama knows the play action is coming next, it's really hard for those linebackers not to bite on that run flake because Blake Corum, we've seen it already. He'll make guys miss in a hole, and now all of a sudden you leave yourself vulnerable. So it's a catch-22 for those linebackers.
Alex Orji in the game for Michigan at quarterback on 2nd down and 7. Orji takes the snap and drops back to pass, looking downfield, and he's got nowhere to go with it. Chased to the near sideline and knocked out of bounds right around the line of scrimmage. They were trying to get, it looked like Kalel Mullings loose deep, but Alabama's secondary didn't fall for it. Dallas Turner credited with the tackle. A short loss for Alex Orji. You mentioned it. At some point, he's going to throw the ball, and he faked the QB draw, rolled to the right, and nothing there.
I think if he takes one more step on that fake, he's able to draw up that linebacker and then able to make the throw. It just did. I don't think he sold it like he needed to.
Here we go. Money down. 3rd and 9 for Michigan's offense. 6:52 to go in the third quarter. Wolverines up 3. JJ takes the snap. Back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, fires crossing route. He's got Tyler Morris, who falls down, making the catch just shy of the first down. They will mark it at the 34-yard line. He had to get to the 36.
He just runs a little stick route, does a nice job of working his defender up the field, leveling it off, catches it right where he's supposed to, about 2 yards shy of the sticks. And if that ball is accurate, if it's on his number, he's got some room to run.
And he would have had the first down easily.
At a minimum.
4th and 2. Tommy Doman deep to punt for Michigan. He's put one inside the opposing team's 12 for 5 straight games. It'd be a good time to do that. Doman's got the snap. Gets off a good punt, and it's Downs backing up. Fair catch now, single for and made at the 20-yard line. Tommy Doman flips the field to a degree, and Michigan will send the defense out with a 3-point lead, 13-10, with 5:58 to go here in quarter number 3. We expected a low-scoring affair, and that's what we've got here. It's 5:58 to go in the third quarter. Michigan leading Alabama 13-10 here at the Rose Bowl. Bama's got the football back at their own 21-yard line when play resumes.
Yeah, the story so far today has been the front seven for Michigan, being able to pressure Jalen Milroe, come up with some big plays, and honestly, it's some of it's been defensive performance. Other has been just Seth McLaughlin, the center for Alabama, is struggling, one to block, but also to get the ball back to his quarterback.
Yeah, Jalen Milroe's a negative rushing yards. Michigan's defense all year long allowed only 190 yards against the scramble. When a quarterback had to improvise, only 190 all year. Milroe had 155 yards rushing against LSU alone. Now, some of that obviously is designed QB runs, but this was one of those matchups of what was going to break. And Milroe's rush yards have been hurt by bad snaps. There's been at least 4 of them, and that's another underlying story of this game.
Yeah, and it's 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss. It's just been, Michigan's been living in the backfield. And again, some due to just winning matchups, others due to the mistakes of Alabama.
Interesting, Alabama goes back to Jace McClellan after Justice Haynes, the freshman, gave him some juice on their opening possession of the second half. From the 21-yard line, McClellan in the backfield off the right hip of Jalen Milroe with 3 receivers split to the right. Milroe, handoff to McClellan up the middle, and he gets it across the 20 out to the 23-yard line where Mason Graham wrangles him to the ground. A short gain on first down for Jace McClellan.
Trying to sell Michigan on the wide receiver screen. They got trips right. Michigan had obviously 2 defenders out there. Mikey Samerstill did a nice job, and the interior of Michigan's defense did a nice job of being disciplined.
2nd down and 7 for Bama. Handoff to McClellan again, and he's hit as he gets to the hole at the 25. Fights his way out to the 27 for another short gain on 2nd down.
Interesting. Alabama went same formation. I thought they might try something different out of it. Now they're going to sub running backs.
Yeah, McClellan out and Jam Miller comes into the game, and he'll split out wide to the right. They're going to go empty backfield for now. 3 receivers split to the left, 2 to the right. Jalen Milroe watch the QB run on 3rd down and a long 4. Now they'll move Jam Miller into the backfield. Crowd getting into it. Big play here. Bama back to passes. Milroe fires to Miller out of the backfield. Incomplete. Just overthrew his running back. Jam Miller coming out of the backfield into the right flat. And Bama goes 3 and out for a season-high 5th time this year.
Yeah, and it's quick decisions by Jalen Milroe. You want to force those ball in and out of his hand, or it's making him stand in the pocket and go through his progressions. Either one of those is been an advantage to Michigan right now.
Burnup on to punt. Again, that was the 5th time they've gone 3 and out in this game. That is a season-high this year. Burnup standing inside his 15. Has the snap and punts it away to Samaj Morgan, who's backing up inside his 20, signals for a fair catch, and then lets it hit. And it's going to roll inside the 15 down to about the 10-yard line, and that's where Bama will down it. Well, that was a little scary.
Yeah.
I think if they happen to open up a bit of a lead here, maybe Jake Thaw might be a little bit more of a sure thing back there. He's been very good at catching punts this year, but Michigan will take over on their own 11-yard line with a 3-point lead here in Pasadena with 4:41 to go, 3rd quarter. While the defenses have dominated the day, Michigan with 2 touchdown drives, but a missed extra point gives them their 13. Alabama's only touchdown drive, they took over in Michigan territory after a fumble punt. The Wolverines have it backed up on their own 11 here. No huge surprise given Michigan's defense. It's been dominant all season long. Alabama under Kevin Steele, a 2nd stint with Bama. 5 all-SEC first-teamers on that Bama defense. Blake Corum in the backfield, shotgun with 4 receivers split out wide for J.J. McCarthy. 1st and 10, Michigan takes the snap, back to pass as J.J. fires over the middle, looking for Colston Loveland. Incomplete. Check that, A.J. Barner. Caleb Downs up from his safety spot, and Barner's looking for a flag. He thought Downs arrived early and wrapped him up early, but it goes incomplete.
That was a quick pass. If he's able to hold onto that ball just a little bit longer, I think he had Roman Wilson down the field, but I know that they wanted to be able to pick up a few yardage real quick. But this offensive line, to me, has played much better in pass protection than I felt that they would.
Bama has 2 edge rushers, first and second in the SEC in QB pressures, Braswell and Turner. I haven't said the name Chris Braswell all day. Hand off Donovan Edwards up the middle on a draw play, and he gets what he can out to about the 13-yard line. And that's where he is dropped. And now we get some extracurriculars between Terrion Arnold and Darius Clemens. And the Michigan bench is going crazy thinking that Arnold took a cheap shot. And you can maybe hear the boos from the Michigan fans that happened right in front of the Michigan bench.
Well, Darius Clemens was blocking 45, 50 yards downfield, which I love. But you also got to take some retaliation at the same time. So, hey.
So 3rd and 9 for Michigan. JJ in a shotgun. 3 receivers in a bunch formation out to the left. Now they bring Roman Wilson in motion. JJ back to pass, fires crossing route, incomplete. Looking for Samaj Morgan at the 22-yard line. Ball let him go out in front of him just a little too much. Let him a little too much, and Michigan goes 3 and out.
It almost looked like Samaj was kind of surprised that the ball was there. And I don't know if that ball was just had too much heat behind it, because it seemed to hit him in the hands.
I don't know that he.
Yeah,
I might be wrong on that. It looked like it was catchable.
It definitely was a catchable ball. He has to be prepared for it no matter what the quarterback throws. JJ can take a little bit off in that situation, knowing at him.
Tommy Doman standing in his own end zone. Snap is clean. Tommy Doman puts his right foot into it and gets off a low line drive. It's going to land in front of Downs, pop straight up in the air and out of bounds right in front of the Bama bench on the far side. Inside of Bama territory, but just barely. I think they're going to mark it at the 45-yard line. So Bama successfully gets the 3 and out and has pretty decent field position, trailing this one 13-10. A 43-yard punt from Tommy Doman, no return.
Yeah, it's up to the defense to get the momentum back, set the tone yet again, which they've been able to do throughout the first part of this game.
Well, the Michigan defense has played outstanding. And you got to credit Jesse Minter against this Bama offense and the weapon that is Jalen Milroe. We thought they might be able to get pressure up the middle, and they have. We thought QB center exchange problems could be part of this game, and it has been. The Bama wide receivers have made very, very little impact. They got something going on the ground with Justice Haynes, but we haven't seen him since those 2 first down runs.
Yeah, the 2 cutbacks that he had in that first possession here of the second half. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more of Justice Haynes. In fact, I'd be more surprised not to see him, because he's been the only part of this Alabama offense that's had some sort of repeatable success.
Got a timeout on the field. 3:44 to go here in the third quarter. Michigan on top 13-10. You're in the granddaddy of them all. And John, we are now looking out from our broadcast position and looking to the east and seeing the San Gabriel Mountains. The entire stadium now is dark and the lights just went out. Oh, because they're playing Mr. Brightside and they're putting on a light show. That gets the Michigan fans into it.
Yeah.
But off in the distance, the sun is setting on the San Gabriel Mountains. And
yeah,
I think if you're a Michigan fan, you've seen this scene on TV over the years, and it's just as advertised.
It's spectacular, and the air is clear. There's not a cloud in the sky right now. It couldn't be a better setting. And everybody talks about the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. This is part of what makes it so special, is the setting that it's in, the fact that it is, hey, it's 2 o'clock Pacific time every year. Doesn't matter. It doesn't move. It's just like the game for Michigan and Ohio State. It's the last game of the year. It's at noon. It's not going to change. At least hopefully it doesn't anytime soon, but this is an unbelievable experience. And now you get Mr. Brightside on top of it. Wolverine fans are loving it.
And the Wolverine fans have turned out in numbers. We've got it at about, this stadium, we would estimate about 2/3 full of Michigan fans.
We've got people in every section. It doesn't matter how red or whatever color they're calling that. We've got maize and blue sprinkled throughout. Then obviously on the home side here, it's all maize and blue.
Michigan football is sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Whole health includes body and mind, and Blue Cross covers it all, from mental health resources to exercise routines. Blue Cross is ready to help. Learn more at bcbsm.com. From the 45-yard line, 1st and 10 for Alabama. Out of the timeout, Jalen Milroe, quarterback keeper, running left, and he's got some room. 45, 50 into Michigan territory, and he's drilled as he gets to the Michigan 46-yard line. Up from a safety spot, Makari Page laid the lumber. Gain of 9, however, for Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, successful play for him. They brought everybody in tight and just basically told Jalen Milroe, hey, we want you to fake it, but we just want you to outrun everybody until you get to that second level, which is what he did.
2nd down and 1. Look for Bama to perhaps take a shot here. Milroe in a shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off, and bouncing it outside of his running back. That's Jam Miller, and he steps out of bounds. Check that. It was Justice Haynes again, the freshman. He's got a 1st down inside the Michigan 40-yard line, down at the 38, and Bama's now in field goal territory, trailing by 3.
I'll tell you what, Kendrick Law, one of their wide receivers, did a really nice job of stalking Braden McGregor and pinning him inside, which allowed them to get to the edge.
1st and 10 for the Michigan 38. 2:44 to go, 3rd quarter. Jalen Milroe takes the snap, play action, back to pass. Here comes the Michigan pass rush. Milroe gets out of it. Then to the 45, now the 35, and inside the Michigan 30, and down he goes. That is vintage Jalen Milroe. Again, the Michigan pass rush in his lap, and he pulls off a Houdini act to get out of there. Cam Good was in there. Josh Wallace came on a blitz. Well, that's a 1st down run for Jalen Milroe down to the Michigan 28-yard line.
Yeah, he was backed up all the way to the 50.
Michigan defense in need of a turnover here. Milroe in a shotgun. Takes the snap, handoff, and gaining some yards down to the 25-yard line is Justice Haynes again, the freshman. He's giving Alabama a boost here in this second half. That's a gain of about 3 on 1st down. Minute 52 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Jalen Harrell banged up, slow to get up, and now slowly getting off the field.
Quentin Johnson is, we saw him in the Ohio State game. We saw him, throughout the season, be a guy that would come up and run support from that safety position, and he was the guy that finally stopped the momentum of Alabama on that with a nice pop.
Keon Sabb has checked in for the Michigan defense. Milroe in a shotgun, ball on the left hash, 2nd down and 7. Takes the snap, back to pass as Jalen Milroe fires, and he's got his man at the 20, Isaiah Bond, who is tackled right there and dropped inside the 20 down at the 16-yard line. Another throw for a 1st down for Alabama.
It was good patience by Jalen Milroe. Isaiah Bond just runs about a 6-yard stick and then just comes right back to the quarterback. And then everything else opens up around him because of the routes. You got one going deep, one going across the middle. Caused a little bit of a gap in the defense. Jalen Milroe just waited for it to open up.
Michael Barrett on the tackle there for Michigan. 1st and 10 Bama from the Michigan 16-yard line. Milroe in a shotgun. Takes the snap. Gonna roll to the right, quarterback run. Wolverines chasing, and he's got nowhere to go, and they run him out of bounds. Mikey Sanders still the man there to shove him out as he got back to the line of scrimmage. They strung that play out. No gain for Jalen Milroe on 1st down.
Yeah, nice job. I mean, that was the wide side of the field. The ball was on the left hash, and to track him all the way across the field and force him out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage, that's a great job by that Michigan defense.
2nd down and 10 for Alabama. 27 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Michigan on top, 13-10. From the Michigan 16-yard line, Milroe with a pistol formation. Directly behind him is Jace McClellan, the running back. And Bama moves up front. Bama move. The Michigan fans love it. They're making noise down in that northern end zone.
Start, number 52, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Left guard Tyler Booker. Back up the Tar Heels 5 yards to the Michigan 21-yard line. Clock running. That may do it for the 3rd quarter. We're inside of 10 seconds to go, and it looks like Bama will choose to go to the 4th quarter. Michigan's leading at 13-10, but Alabama's knocking on the door here in Pasadena. with a spot in the national championship on the line. It all comes down to the final 15 minutes.
It's been a defensive battle, and I don't expect anything to be different in the fourth quarter. Some chances are going to have to be taken by both offenses, but so far the defenses have had all the answers.
We'll get the fourth quarter underway when we continue from Pasadena. 2nd and 15 for Alabama as we've moved this one into the fourth quarter from here in Pasadena. Michigan leading the Crimson Tide 13-10, but Alabama has got the ball at the Michigan 21-yard line. Wolverines still leading the statistical battle, but Bama's catching up. 11 first downs to 10. Michigan 220 total yards to Bama's 168. After getting something going on the ground, the Michigan run game stalled out there in the third quarter.
Yeah, and you mentioned at the beginning of the third quarter, Michigan's been so dominant in the third. It's kind of been their quarter to be able to create separation between them and the opponents, and wasn't to be the case tonight or this afternoon, but when you get into the college football playoffs, obviously you're playing against the best in the country, and they've got to find a way here to make Alabama pay for some of the mistakes. If they put the ball on the ground here, if there's an issue with the snap, Michigan needs to take the ball away.
Alabama breaks the huddle with Jalen Milroe in a shotgun. Chase McClellan in the backfield on 2nd down and 15. Now they bring Kendrick Law into motion into the backfield. And they'll go Jalen Milroe, quarterback run up the middle. He gets it to the 10, powers inside the 5. 1st and goal, Alabama. He's dropped by Will Johnson down at the 2-yard line.
It's your basic read option by the quarterback. He's reading Derek Moore. Derek Moore plays the fact that he's going to play the running back. Quarterback keeps it.
Hand off to McClellan, bounces it outside to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown. The Michigan coaching staff is going crazy on the sideline. Jim Harbaugh thought there was a hold, but McClellan into the end zone to give Alabama a 16-13 lead. See if we can see a replay of what Coach was upset about. And it looks like Michael Barrett is the man that they thought was held, but no flag. So Alabama back on top following a 55-yard drive. And it's Reichert on for the extra point. Burnip with the hold. Snap is good. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 8 plays, 55 yards over 4 minutes and 14 seconds. And as we sit here early fourth quarter, now the Michigan offense has some work to do.
Well, they got some work to do in the fact that because of that missed extra point earlier in the game, they're down 4. So it's obviously going to take a touchdown to take the lead back. Field goal is not going to do. They've got plenty of time. There's no panic. There's nothing that Michigan needs to worry about other than the fact that you've got to regain some of that dominance at the line of scrimmage that you had in the first half.
Well, the question was, as this season went on, can Michigan in a tight game make the plays necessary to win? And they did at Penn State. And they did against Ohio State, putting together some really important fourth quarter drives. Penn State more to run clock. Ohio State, Michigan didn't punt after the Zach Zinner injury and came through. So now here they sit in a tight ball game in the national semifinals, down 17-13. Samaj Morgan standing on his own goal line as Reichert will put his right foot into this one, and that one will sail out of the back of the end zone. Morgan doesn't budge, and Michigan will take over on the 25-yard line. Hey, when you're out of town and want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the new Varsity Network app, available for both Apple and Android. Listen to the college sports live with the Varsity Network app. Blake Corum in the backfield here. The ball is placed on the 25-yard line on the left hash.
Well, we have seen Michigan respond in different ways throughout the course of the year. More so at the end of the year, whether it was to things that happened out of their control or it was to injuries. It was to a deficit. They've been able to respond, and now this is another opportunity for them to do that.
JJ in a shotgun. They bring Tyler Morris in motion. Hand off, Blake Corum running left. Cuts upfield across the 25 to the 26, where he's brought to the ground by Dallas Turner, all-SEC edge rusher. Short gain on first down. The number 2 for Michigan, the senior running back, Blake Corum.
Alabama has been really good since about the mid-second quarter in regards to stopping the run. Michigan, for a while there, was gaining 8 yards on first down, a couple of times 9. Haven't been able to find that level of success since then.
One receiver split wide right. That's Cornelius Johnson. Colston Loveland and A.J. Barn along with Max Bredesen in 3 tight ends. J.J. play action back to pass. Fires over the middle. Short. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. Out near the 40-yard line. It was Justin Eboigbe in there to put a hit on J.J. who's a little slow getting up again. And Michigan going to be looking at a 3rd and long.
Yeah, Michigan had brought in an extra offensive lineman, Miles Hinton, over at the right tackle spot, and they moved Trente Jones, a formation that we've seen throughout the course of the year, but just a protection breakdown in the middle of the offensive line.
Wolverines go 4 wide. Donovan Edwards in the backfield. It's 3rd down and 9. JJ takes the snap, back to pass. Here comes the rush. Bails out of there. Fires to Donovan Edwards. He's going to have to make a man miss, but he dropped it. It's a moot point when you don't secure the catch, and Michigan with another ill-timed 3 and out.
Yards have been hard to come by. Jason, I'm curious. We could see from up here that the Alabama sideline there seems to be a lot of energy. What's it like on the Michigan sideline right now?
Yeah, they're down a little bit. The defense look at times, but I think we can recover from this. The offense has to sustain a drive or two. The defense is getting tired.
Tommy Doman needs to get off a nuke here as he's standing on his own 11-yard line. Clean snap. Bama doesn't rush. Doman gets off a short punt, and coming forward is Downs, telling everybody to get away from it. It hits a Bama player, but Downs falls on it at the 32-yard line. Boy, he had no sense of urgency telling his teammates
to get out of the way.
Yeah, and then that hit one of the up men, but Downs was right there to fall on it. And Bama will take over on the 32-yard line. Now Alabama leads it and has the football with 13:32 to go in the game. It's 17-13, Crimson Tide. 13:32 to go in the ball game. Alabama leading Michigan 17-10. And the Crimson Tide with the football on their own 33-yard line. Michigan and Alabama, the last time they played the 2020 Citrus Bowl, Michigan led at the half in that game, 16-14. Alabama outscored Michigan in the second half, 21-0. Third quarter has been Michigan's best quarter of the year. After going scoreless, Bama got a touchdown here early in the fourth, and they lead at 17-13. And the Michigan fans making a ton of noise here, trying to inspire the Michigan defense. Wolverines need to make a play.
Got to make something happen defensively. Big stop, force a punt, maybe a turnover, rip the ball out any chance that you get, but you got to play discipline. At worst, just make a punt the ball from here, get the ball back to your offense.
This is only the second possession all season the Michigan defense has been on the field when Michigan has trailed. It happened against Rutgers. Michigan has just trailed for 23 minutes and 33 seconds in a game all season long. Coming into this one, and Alabama with the lead in the football here, 13:32 to go in the game. Milroe in a shotgun, takes the snap, and will throw it out into the flat. He's got his receiver 40, 45, and shoved out of bounds by Rod Moore is Kobe Prentice on a little pass out into the screen after play action. Fake the handoff left, threw back to the right. First down, Alabama.
Yeah, they brought Mike Barrett, trying to create some pressure inside, dropped Jalen Harrell, and just created an opening for Alabama to get an easy completion.
Ball now at the Bama 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Milroe in a shotgun. Jam Miller in the backfield. Now he puts Miller in motion. Takes the snap. And Milroe, quarterback keeper, breaks a tackle in the backfield. Tries to bounce outside. Fumbles. Ball's on the ground. Who's got it? Wolverines are jumping around, and they think they got it. And they do. They do. Michigan recovers a fumble at the 50-yard line, and we ask for them to make a play, and they do. Josh Wallace comes up with the fumble, and we have to see who dislodged it. It was
Quentin Johnson.
Wow.
Quentin Johnson did a great job. I talked about discipline throughout the course of the game, whether it's offensive linemen and making the right steps, the blocking movement, or it's the defense on the backside of that, quarterback read option. Quentin Johnson does a great job of showing exactly why you got to have discipline, right place, right time, and makes Jalen Milroe, a very young player, make a play. And he just lays the ball on the ground.
So the Wolverines now with good field position at their own 49-yard line. One receiver split left is Cornelius Johnson. JJ in a shotgun. Puts Roman Wilson in motion. Takes the snap, back to pass. JJ fires. He's got Wilson 45, 40 down the sideline. Gets upended inside the Alabama 35, down at the 31-yard line. And the Wolverines have moved into Bama territory here after a 20-yard pass from J.J. McCarthy to Roman Wilson.
And Kool-Aid McKinstry and Malachi Moore obviously had a miscommunication. They're jawing at each other after the fact there.
Wolverines go quick. Wide receiver screen. Cornelius Johnson fights back to the line of scrimmage before Caleb Downs brings him down. Good play there by the Alabama freshman safety. No gain. Tried to catch Bama's defense sleeping. God, Downs is good. He came onto the scene last year he was an early enrollee at Sugar Bowl practices. They knew they had a player.
Yeah.
And he's been outstanding as a freshman. Leads them in tackles. 2nd down and 10 for Michigan. McCarthy in a shotgun pistol formation with Blake Corum directly behind him. Wolverines shift everybody in tight. Now from under center, JJ takes the snap, pitches it, they go flea flicker, ball's on the ground, and JJ's just going to have to fall on it. Oh boy, handoff to Blake Corum, he flipped it back to JJ. There was somebody in Blake's face, led to a bad pitch, and it's going to be a big-time loss for the Michigan offense. They tried to catch Bama with a flea flicker, and it backfired.
Yeah, it did, and Blake just needs to take his time. I know that there was somebody in his face, but he had enough time to be able to put some more juice on it, get it back to JJ.
3rd down and 17 for the Michigan offense from the Bama 38-yard line following the negative play. Empty backfield for J.J. McCarthy. Wolverines need to get to the 21-yard line. J.J. quick pass, fires it. He's got Samaj Morgan, 35, 30, and that's where he'll be taken down. The 31-yard line, they mark him, and it looks like Michigan will try a field goal here. As James Turner, who's 16 of 18 on the year, will attempt to kick well within his range. Ball be placed at the 39-yard line, so a 49-yard attempt. He is 6 of 8 from beyond 40 yards this year. Ball's on the right hash, trying to cut this Bama lead to 1. James Turner out of the hold of Tommy Doman. High snap, Doman gets it down, the kick is on its way, and it is no good.
Well, it's frustrating. And again, it's self-inflicted wounds by Michigan. There's nothing that Alabama did there. I'm fine with taking a shot with the flea flicker. We've seen Michigan run that play a number of times, but you can't put the ball on the ground. And it's senior captain Blake Corum. And, it's not really JJ's fault that the ball didn't get to him. He did a nice job of hopping on top of it and making sure that Alabama didn't come up with it. But you've got to find a way to capitalize on a turnover. And when you don't, in a moment like this, an extra point, a turnover, all of those things become big. They become much bigger in the fourth quarter of a college football playoff game.
That brings a streak of 14 consecutive made field goals to an end by James Turner. 10:30 to go in the ball game. Alabama on top of Michigan 17-13. And John Jansen coming into this game, Michigan didn't have to be perfect, but they have made some pretty big mistakes on special teams. A fumble punt, a short punt. Those two things led to Alabama touchdown drives, or 2 touchdown drives of 44 yards and 55 yards. Now you mix in a botched snap on an extra point, a missed field goal. Things add up quickly. And now the Michigan defense is being asked again to come up big with 10.5 minutes to go in the ballgame, and Bama leading by 4.
And here's the thing, no matter how many times the defense is asked, they've got to come through. Offense, defense, special teams. That's why you've got 3 phases. And at some point, the special teams, hey, they've come up short at this point today. At some point, maybe they're in position to make a play, and they've got to come through. You never know what's in store.
From the 31-yard line, Milrose in a shotgun. Takes the snap, hand off to Jace McClellan, running right, and he slips through a hole out to about the 35-yard line, and that's where he is dropped for a 4-yard gain on first down.
This is where you got to find a way to get a stop. And it's tough when you give up 4 yards on first down. Doesn't make it impossible. You've got to find a way to force this Alabama offense into a passing down.
2nd down and 6 for Alabama from the 35-yard line. Inside of 10 minutes to go, clock running. McClellan, the senior running back, continuing in the backfield. Jalen Milroe, play clock inside of 5, takes a bad snap, hands it off to McClellan running left. He's got some room, 40, and Rod Moore breaks a tackle from Rod Moore, 50, and he's dropped at the Michigan 48-yard line. It looked like Rod Moore would bring him down, but somehow he got out of Rod Moore's tackle. And Jace McClellan goes for 17 yards. And Bama's got it at the Michigan 48-yard line.
They were in position to make a play right at about the first down marker, and that's where Rod Moore had him, and he tried to tackle the ball instead of tackling the man. First guy there has got to be able to tackle the man. You got to get him on the ground first. That's when everybody else, hey, when they arrive, they can tackle the ball, but you have to, as the first defender, tackle the man.
1st and 10, Alabama, 9:11 to go. Jalen Milroe in a shotgun. Takes the snap. Back to pass. Fires. He's got Burton on a wide receiver screen. Not much room there. Whistles blow as his forward progress is stopped for a gain of 2 right in front of the Bama bench on the far side. And it was Josiah Stewart getting out there. Hey, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Michigan football from Learfield. Second down and 8 for Alabama. 8:30 to go, clock running. From the Michigan 46-yard line, Milroe puts a man in motion. That's Prentice. Now takes the snap, goes quarterback draw, running left. Gets to the Michigan 41-yard line before he is thrown to the ground short of the first down by Michael Barrett and Josiah Stewart.
I'll tell you what, Josiah Stewart did a really nice job of standing up his blocker, keeping his eyes free on Jalen Milroe, and then being able to shed his block to make a play. Not at the line of scrimmage, a little bit downfield, but if he doesn't do that, that might be gone.
3rd and 3 for Alabama. They're on the edge of field goal range, and they got a 4-point lead. Milroe in a shotgun. Claps his hands, takes the snap, hands it off to Jam Miller, running right to the 40, first down to the 35, and tackling from behind is Michael Barrett at the Michigan 30-yard line. They go student body right, and Alabama is now well within field goal range down at the 30 with 7:24 to go in the game, and now the clock is becoming a factor.
You've got to find a way to stop this run game.
You got to find a way to keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah.
You need one of those big negative plays, and we get a whistle and a flag. I don't know what this is.
Illegal substitution. Offense. 12 players were in formation. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Okay.
That's a start. Total yards this half, Alabama 150 to Michigan's 44.
Yeah, it's a tale of two halves. Michigan dominated the first half. Now Alabama obviously dominating the second half.
Michigan defense, a lot has been asked of them. Can they get another stop? From the 35-yard line, Milroe in a shotgun. Brings a man in motion. That's Dupree, the transfer from Maryland, the tight end. And they'll go quick pass to Burton, and he's met immediately by Keon Sabb and dropped after a gain of 1. Good play there. The Wolverines sophomore safety coming up and closing quickly on Jermaine Burton.
Yeah, nice job, open field tackle. Again, Michigan's got some guys that are in position. We've talked about Mikey Sanders, Keon Sabb, that if they don't make those plays, they're vulnerable to, somebody taking it to the house. That's a great job by Keon Sabb of one, recognizing it, closing speed, and making a nice open field tackle.
2nd down and 14 for the Crimson Tide. Milroe in a shotgun. Takes the snap and goes quarterback keeper, fires to the tight end, Dupree, who's got it and dropped immediately at the 30-yard line. Michael Barrett was there. Junior Colson was there, and with 6:08 to go in the ball game, Alabama's looking at a 3rd down and 9. Again, the Crimson Tide leading 17-13.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the ball out of the hands of Jalen Milroe as quickly as possible, using that read option as the threat. But a quick dump to Dupree. And if they're able to get there early, he bobbled that ball just a little bit, might have been able to pop it free.
See what Tommy Reese, the offensive coordinator, dials up, what Michigan's Jesse Minter has in mind. Play clock winding down, 3 seconds to go. Jalen Milroe looking up, takes a snap at 1. Back to pass, here comes a blitz, and down he goes! The Wolverines collapse the pocket and drop Jalen Milroe for a sack back at the 34-yard line, and that will make this anything but a sure thing field goal, presuming that's what Alabama does. Their kicker, the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history, earlier in the game hit his 9th career 50-plus yarder, and he'll have to do it again here to try and give Alabama a 7-point lead with the clock running and 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
Yeah, this will be just a touch longer at about 52.
His long this year is 51. Ball just off the right hash. Out of the hold, a burn-up. Snap is good. Ball's placed down. The kick is on its way, and it is good. Burn-up from 52 yards. Correction, Reichard from 52 yards, who points to the sky, as is his routine in honor of his late father, who passed away due to pancreatic cancer.
He had plenty of leg on that one. It was split the uprights, and quite honestly, that would have been good from about 60.
But the Wolverines still have a chance with 4:41 to go in the ball game, trailing 20-13. Michigan will get the ball back. They've done next to nothing offensively in this half. Down 20-13 with 4:41 to go in the ball game. Alabama will kick off back to Michigan following that field goal of 52 yards from Will Reichard. Samaj Morgan standing in his own end zone. And John, Wolverines try and get something going here. Maybe look for the tight ends to get involved. Colston Loveland and A.J. Barnard combined for 2 catches, both from Loveland.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to find a way to open up that middle a little bit. Tight ends would be a great way to do it. I think Roman Wilson, I've seen him on some skinny posts find a couple of slivers of daylight.
This kick will come down, and Morgan will let it sail over his head and halfway into the end zone, and Michigan will take over at the 25-yard line. All right, so Michigan with an outstanding offensive coordinator and Sharon Moore will get the football back from the 25-yard line, trailing by 7 when we continue from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. 4:41 to go in the ball game. Blake Corum in the backfield off the right hip of J.J. McCarthy, who's in a shotgun. Wolverines with 2 tight ends to the left. Barner and Colston split out wide right is Cornelius Johnson. And as the TV people leave the field, J.J. with some last words for his offensive line, and Roman Wilson, and now in a shotgun, ready to go. They go handoff, running left, Blake Corum. Gets to the outside, hesitates, out to the 29-yard line and pushed out of bounds, just shy of the 30, gain of 4.5 yards on first down.
Well, nice shot by Blake Corum, getting to the edge and using his quickness, his ability to put a foot in the ground and head north and south to gain some yards. Not a lot there to be had. Darius Henderson is able to get the edge set enough for him for Blake Corum to get there.
JJ in a shotgun on 2nd down and 5. Looks to the sideline, same formation. Now looks like he wants to change the play. Clock running, 4:09 to go in the game. Play clock winding down, got to get the snap off, and they do. Same play, Blake Corum running left. Makes a man miss at the 30 and fights forward to the 33-yard line, just shy of the first down. Kool-Aid McKinstry was the man on the tackle. Blake got out of that what he could. And that's a 3rd and 2 facing the Michigan offense, and here comes Alex Orji.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing, is you're going to have to find ways to get some chunk yardage plays.
J.J. McCarthy staying in the game, and Orji is splitting out wide right. Blake Corum in the backfield on 3rd and 2. Alabama has stacked the box here. They bring Orji in motion. Snap, fake a handoff to Orji. Back to passes. J.J. tipped in the air and incomplete. Alabama tipped it. It looked like it was Dallas Turner who got his hands on it with 3:19 to go. And all 3 timeouts. Does Jim Harbaugh give Alabama the ball back or go for it on 4th and 2?
I think you're kind of in a position here where you're going to have to go for it. And this is an opportunity for this Michigan team to extend their season, or at least have an opportunity to extend their season. You're going to have to pick this one up.
What's your best play? 4th and 2. Two tight ends to the right, Loveland and Barner. Blake Corum in the backfield. JJ back to pass, fires it wide open. Blake Corum, 35-40. Blake Corum to the 50. Blake Corum gets a block from Roman Wilson. Jumps over a man, flags fly in where Roman took out the Bama defensive back, but it will be good enough yardage for a first down into Bama territory. They'll mark this penalty off spot of the foul, but move the chains for Michigan. Disappointing because it should be more, but...
Well, I'm glad Blake Corum ended up just running out of bounds. He saw it happen right in front of him. He blocked him right in the back.
Yeah, you just don't understand why a guy that's that much of a veteran to do that in that situation.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Still results in a first down.
There were 4 officials' flags laying at the Alabama 41-yard line. So that'll back Michigan up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. But most importantly, they got the first down.
Well, they got the first down, and that's obviously the most important factor. They get a chance to extend this drive, but that 10 yards is huge. It puts them right back at midfield.
3:10 to go in the ball game. Wolverines survive a fourth down here, down by 7. 20-13. Clock running, 3:06. Empty backfield for J.J. McCarthy. 3 receivers split left, 2 to the right. J.J. brings Blake Corum in motion. And J.J.'s going to go quarterback run right. 50, 45. J.J. turns the corner. 35, knocked out of bounds. And a late hit. And did a flag fly in? Did I see a flag?
I don't think so. Boy, I tell you what, there should have been a flag there. He tackled him 3 yards out of bounds.
Still a big gain for J.J. McCarthy. I'll have to see a replay if that was as bad as it looked from here. J.J. stepped out of bounds. And it was Terrion Arnold who took him to the ground. Boos cascading down. Nonetheless, Michigan with a first down at the Alabama 34, clock running, 2:32 to go. A do-or-die drive for a bunch of players that came back for this moment. From the 34-yard line, J.J. in a shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass, has a pocket, steps up, fires over the middle, caught by Roman Wilson at the 20. 15, 10, Roman Wilson knocked out of bounds inside the 5. What a catch by Roman Wilson, who climbed the ladder and has Michigan knocking on the door with 2:07 to go.
He sure did. Boy, I don't know. It almost looked like that ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage. But he did a great job of going up and getting it.
29 yards to Roman Wilson, and Michigan has it first and goal from the Alabama 5-yard line. Clock running, minute 48 to go. And we get a whistle, and I think Nick Saban wants to take a timeout.
You asked the question, where was this the rest of the second half? Jerome Moore coming up emptying the bag of tricks here with 3 minutes left. Now, what do we have? Under 2 minutes left in what could be the final game of the season.
Minute 45 to go following the timeout. Again, setting the scene here. Michigan to the end zone to our left, right in front of all the Michigan fans at the northern end zone. Wolverines trailing it by 7, first and goal. And John,
the ball did get tipped. Yeah. I thought the trajectory changed, but what great concentration by Roman Wilson.
Yeah, he had to make up for that play that he had a second ago. So he definitely did it in that situation. And the thing about being in a do-or-die situation, John, is that now you have to trust that offensive line and call your normal stuff. Yep. You can't baby him the entire game. And I think that Coach Jerome Moore just opened it up just a little bit.
I think so as well. You're not always going to be able to roll your quarterback out, cut off half the field. They've left the full field open by keeping JJ in the pocket.
Wolverines break the huddle quickly. 3 tight ends to the right. Blake Corum in the backfield. JJ takes the snap, hands it off to Corum, puts his head down and drives to the 4, getting pushed by an offensive lineman. We'll see where they mark it. It looks like it's going to be at the 4-yard line. And clock running, minute 35 to go, and Bama uses another timeout at a minute 34. Second and goal for Michigan from the Alabama 4. They trail by 7. And John?
We're building to a similar decision that we saw on Saturday night.
Make sure everybody reports.
Yes, appropriately.
Michigan has only run one 2-point conversion all year, and they did not convert. But John, it's a decision that we hope Jim Harbaugh has to make.
Yeah, obviously you got to score. You got to get the 6 first. And we saw Roman Wilson with a great catch, handoff on first down to Blake Corum. This is where the offensive line has to say, you know what, I don't care what is called. If it is a pass, we've got to hold up in pass protection and make sure everything is legal. Make sure we give JJ as much time as possible. If it's a run, you take that defensive line and you plant them in the very first row behind the end zone so that Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, whoever they hand the ball off to, can walk into the end zone. This game will be decided by this offensive line.
Wolverines with the ball on the left hash, 2 receivers split to the left, Tyler Morris and Colston Loveland. Now they motion Loveland back into the line of scrimmage. JJ takes the snap, fires. He's got Roman Wilson, who will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines. JJ McCarthy's 3rd touchdown of the game, and Michigan has cut it to a 1-point game.
What a great sell by the offensive line and Blake Corum. Looked like it was going to be a handoff to Blake, and then all of a sudden, here comes Roman Wilson in the flat, a nice, easy pitch and catch. And it looks like Jim Harbaugh is going to opt for the extra point.
Well, they've already blown 1 snap on an extra point. James Turner on to tie the ball game with 1:34 to go. Snap is clean. Turner's extra point is up, and it's good. And the Wolverines have tied it following an 8-play, 75-yard drive with 3:03 to go, converting on a 4-yard touchdown pass from J.J. McCarthy to Roman Wilson. Brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. And John?
Plenty of time with 3 timeouts left. Michigan might get the ball back.
Alabama has 1 timeout, and they got 94 seconds. And they've got one of the best kickers in the country. So they've got to be thinking about trying to get a walk-off field goal at minimum.
Yep, Michigan's thinking about, first of all, you got to make a stop.
Yep.
You got to be able to kick them down, get a stop. Hopefully you can push them back a little bit. Maybe you could force a turnover. I would be surprised if Jalen Milroe took too many chances with the football, or they allowed Jalen Milroe to take too many chances with the football.
Special teams for Michigan have not been great. How about they come up with a big hit and a turnover here? Tommy Doman puts his right foot into it and sends one deep to fair caught at the 5-yard line by Alabama's Roydell Williams. He caught it. That kick came all the way across the field from the right hash outside the left hash. And on the fair catch, it'll start Alabama at the 25-yard line. They got to be thinking about going about 45 yards here in 1:34. Milroe through the air in this game. We'll get his numbers here in a moment, but that is not his.
No, Milroe through the air right now is 12 of 17 for 93 yards. Has not been a huge threat at throwing the ball. It's all come, most of their offense has come on the ground. 154 yards on the ground.
Michigan fans getting into it. Alabama with 1 receiver split left, 2 to the right from the 25-yard line in a tie game with 1:34 to go. Milroe back to pass. Here comes the rush. He steps up and he's going to run 25, 30 and slides down at the 32-yard line. Clock running, 1:24 to go. Chris Jenkins down the field making the tackle. No huddle. Bama lines up quickly. Milroe takes the snap, back to pass. Here comes the rush. Fires in the flat. It's caught. First down yardage. I believe it was Roydell Williams out of the backfield, but he is dropped inbounds. Clock stopped on the first down to the 37-yard line. 1:09 to go.
Yeah, and since he was tackled inbounds, as soon as that ball is set, they're going to wind the clock.
Ball is set. They're holding up the Crimson Tide. They reset the clock at 1:11. And they, I guess, rule him out of bounds there. Yes. Milroe back to pass. Here comes the rush. Milroe gets it away, and it's incomplete over the middle. He underthrew his receiver, Kobe Prentice. Clock stops 1:06 to go. Alabama looking at a second down from their own 37-yard line. Probably need to get to about the 38-yard line, 39-yard line to give their kicker Reichert a chance. Remember, he made a season-long 52, and as you pointed out, would have been good from close to 60. So maybe they just need to get down to the Michigan 43.
It's possible, but it's also possible that a young quarterback can make a bad decision. You got to find a way to put pressure on him right now.
Wolverines showing blitz. Low snap, Milroe back to pass. Fires, near side, incomplete. Into the flat, nobody there, and the clock stops with 1:01 to go. And Alabama looking at a 3rd and 10.
And that's all you need from a young quarterback that right now, even though there haven't been any more sacks here, there's been 1 sack in the second half. He is looking at the rush. He's not necessarily looking downfield to find an open receiver. He is looking at the rush. That ball was basically in the middle of nowhere. We just need him to do that with a Michigan defender in the area.
Huge play here. 3rd and 10 for Alabama. Tie game, 1:01 to go. 4 wide, Milroe back to pass, fires underneath. He's got his running back who's dropped short of the sticks by Josh Wallace. And Jim Harbaugh will take a timeout as Alabama gains 6 yards on 3rd and 10. Harbaugh hoping to get the ball back. Will Nick Saban, he'll punt it, right?
Oh, I'm sure he's going to punt it. But now Michigan, having used that timeout, will have 2 timeouts. They'll probably get the ball back with about 45 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. And Doug, you mentioned, hey, the special teams have not been great, but it is possible that Michigan can drive down and the special teams could come out the hero of this game by kicking a game winner.
Well, James Turner, in a story earlier this year, mentioned to a reporter that he really hasn't kicked a pressure or walk-off kick. He hit some pressure kicks against Ohio State, but he's got a chance here as Alabama sends the punt unit on with 54 seconds to go.
It's all about stand on side. This is a perfect time for Alabama to use a hard count or delayed count right here.
Yep.
We have to stay disciplined in the situation.
4th and 4, and Michigan brings Cornelius Johnson onto the field for this punt rush, and he has got several block punts to his credit in his Michigan career. Jake Thaw is deep for Michigan, standing on his own 8. Burnup, one of the best punters in the country. Snap is good. Gets the kick off. Jake Thaw ranging over, fair catch signal for and made, and he dropped it back near the goal line, and he's hit right there, and it will be marked at the 1-yard line with 44 seconds to go. And special teams, John.
Boy, they're just not making it easy, are they?
No, he signals for the fair catch and then backs up to the 5 to let it go. Michigan lost a Rose Bowl in 1972 on a safety in a 10-10 tie against Stanford. And that came dangerously close, and they're still not out of trouble.
No, they're not. They're certainly not out of trouble. It's just a tackle for loss, and that ends the game right here. They've got to find a way to create a little bit of a buffer for this Michigan offense to operate.
You've got to escape this jam. Ball at the 1-yard line. 1st and 10, 44 seconds to go. Bama with 1 timeout, so you need to have 2 positive plays to get to overtime. JJ in a shotgun. Blake Corum in the backfield. Takes the handoff up the middle, gets out of the end zone, out to about the 2. And clock running with 36 seconds to go. And if Nick Saban's not going to take the timeout,
Michigan could ride this one right down to overtime.
Yep. Play clock at 27 seconds. Game clock ticking at 24 seconds.
I'd be surprised if Alabama doesn't call a timeout, make Michigan snap the ball
I would think
and
so.
run a play.
And it looks like we are headed to overtime. Nope. Did Nick Saban use a timeout?
Yep.
He did.
Alabama has called their 3rd and final charge timeout. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 12 seconds, please. 12 seconds.
So if I'm Michigan, all I do is I take a snap, take a knee, or run a QB sneak just to make sure that you don't want to have any player with the ball in their hand in the end zone right now. Take it to overtime.
Michigan hasn't played an overtime game since Cade McNamara, brought Michigan back in that Rutgers game in 2020. They need to get one clean quarterback center exchange from their own 2-yard line. And we're going to overtime here in the national semifinal at the Rose Bowl.
Doesn't get any better than this, does it, Doug?
You know, I like 49-0 games.
That was the first Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
1902?
All right. J.J. McCarthy under center from the 2-yard line. Takes a snap and takes a knee at the 1. Alabama's out of timeouts. And this one will go to overtime as the clock winds down. They stop the clock with 5 seconds. Why'd they do that? Bama's out of timeouts.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 12 seconds, please.
What just happened? Did Michigan take a timeout before that play?
They must have. They didn't announce a timeout.
Michigan's timeout left has dropped to 2. But Harbaugh had already used it.
Right.
So what just happened?
Somehow they signaled no play because it's still second down.
Same thing. One safe quarterback center exchange. JJ takes a knee at the 1, and we're going to overtime. Wolverines have lined up. Takes the snap, takes the knee at the 1. And deja vu all over again. The clock will tick down to 5, 4, and 3, 2, 1, and we're going to overtime, John.
Yep, we sure are. And it's going to be exciting all the way to the very end.
So the problem with overtime is special teams can play a huge role, but it's just the kicking. And James Turner has been actually very good this year. He missed a field goal earlier, and Michigan botched a snap on an extra point, which is, a big reason why we're here. But nonetheless, it's been good all year. Overtime is a red zone battle. Well, just outside the red zone, but essentially a red zone battle. Alabama's red zone offense is 7th in the country, scoring on 94% of their red zone possessions, 70% touchdowns. Michigan's red zone defense is 3rd in the country, holding opponents to 71% scoring, only 43% touchdowns.
Well, and it's going to come down to, obviously, they're going to be a coin toss. They're going to figure out who's going to, possess the ball first. And then you got, field goal or touchdown. Then whoever has the ball second knows either what they got to do to tie the game or what they need for a win.
Meanwhile, Alabama's red zone defense, not great. 38 trips, 31 scores, 53% touchdowns. Michigan, their red zone offense, 59 trips, 52 scores, 88%, 42 touchdowns. So it's not technically a red zone battle, but that sets the stage for overtime here in Pasadena.
Well, it does, and quite honestly, you start with the ball in field goal range, really for both of these kickers.
Yep.
And you don't want it to become a field goal battle because eventually you have to go for it. But, we'll see what this Alabama team, what they're willing to do, what type of chances they're willing to take with an offense that has, in the second half, dominated at the line of scrimmage. They've been able to push Michigan around. They've been very successful on the ground. But in the back of their mind, Seth McLaughlin, their center, has struggled to get the ball back to their quarterback. Quarterback in that last set of downs didn't make a lot of great decisions. So they've got to decide what type of risks are we willing to take. And then when Michigan gets the ball, they've got to figure out, okay, are we going to allow JJ to stand back here and deliver the ball? Our protection has been good. We haven't really had any breakdowns. We want to leave the field open, but you've got guys like Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell that are just waiting to make a play.
Well, Michigan's defense has done a great job pressuring the quarterback, but most of it came in the first half. Wolverines,
5 sacks in the first half, 1 in the second. 9 TFLs on the game in total. I think there were 8 in the first half. And here's the thing, is for football fans, you're listening and you're on the road, or if you've got it synced up to your TV, you are watching or you're listening to 2 elite programs with a lot of talent that's going to be playing on Sunday.
We go downstairs for the coin toss. Jalen Milroe will speak for Alabama. Mikey Sanders.
Gentlemen, as we go to overtime, we still are using the same coin as earlier. Michigan, Alabama, whichever team is on the top will win the toss. The options here, offense, defense, or which end of the field you like to play on. All right? All right.
The coin.
Alabama, you've won the toss. Play defense, which end of the field? Good. Alabama's won the toss. They will go on offense or defense. Michigan ball, first down.
Yeah. In this situation, Coach Sharon Moore has to continue to stay aggressive and eliminate the self-inflicted wounds that we've had all game. But I would love to see him stay aggressive.
Yep, I agree with you. Keep JJ in the pocket. Be creative in your play calls. We saw Roman Wilson wide open for a touchdown earlier in the game. It was Blake Corum wide open for a touchdown. Keep that creativity, that spontaneity, but stay on the attack.
It's the second time Michigan and Alabama have gone to overtime in a bowl game. The first time, the 2000 Orange Bowl. Tommy Brady led Michigan to a 35-34 victory over the Crimson Tide. Can J.J. McCarthy match the GOAT here in overtime from the 25-yard line? The Wolverines line up. Samaj Morgan split wide right. Cornelius Johnson wide left. J.J. will take a snap from under center with Blake Corum, the lone running back in the backfield. Two tight ends to the right. Now they bring Samaj in motion. J.J. looking over the Alabama defense. Parks a commanded Blake. Puts Samaj in motion. Takes the snap. Handoff. Blake Corum bounces it outside with room to the 20. Cuts upfield. Blake Corum to the 14. Checked at the 16-yard line where he is dropped. They're going to spot him at the 17. Good cut downfield by Blake Corum. A gain of 8 on first down.
Yeah, great vision. Great feel for being able to squeeze out just a couple of more yards. If he keeps rolling to the outside, probably only gets maybe 5, picks up 6, but being able to stick his foot in the ground, picks up another 4.
Wolverines looking at a 2nd and 2, pistol formation. Blake Corum deep. JJ takes the snap, hands it off to Corum. Outside to the 15, hesitates to the 10. Blake Corum inside the 5. Blake Corum with an outstanding run. Touchdown, Wolverines. And John, that may be one of the best runs of Blake Corum's career. And Michigan takes a 6-point lead here in overtime.
I tell you what, that was a great job by Carson Barnhart, filling in for Zach Zinter, playing at that guard position. They pulled him around, got his shoulders square, got up on the linebacker, and paved the way for Blake Corum. What a beautiful, beautiful run, play call, and execution by this Michigan offense.
Now execute the extra point. James Turner's ready. Snap is good. Ball's placed down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. And 2 plays into overtime. And 2 Blake Corum runs. And Michigan leads it 27-20 here in overtime.
Wow, that puts all the pressure on a combination that has felt the pressure, that hasn't necessarily performed under pressure, and that's Seth McLaughlin, the center for Alabama, and Jalen Milroe, the quarterback.
That 17-yard Blake Corum touchdown run brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first.
You should see the players and the coaches on the sideline riling up the crowd in this moment. It's a special moment.
Can the Michigan defense come up with another stop? Jalen Milroe down by 7 here in overtime. Ball on the right hash. 2 receivers split wide left. In the backfield for Alabama is Chase McClellan. Milroe, with the Michigan fans raining sound down on him, takes the snap. Gonna go quarterback keeper running right. Fires underneath. He's got his running back, and McClellan is knocked out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. Let's see who the Wolverine defender was. It was Mike Barrett. No gain. Now they're going to give him a yard on first down.
Nice job of extending that play all the way to the edge, making sure that Jalen Milroe can't make a play. And that was Derek Moore that was assigned to the quarterback, showing discipline and obviously being able to make a play outside the numbers for only a 1-yard gain.
2nd down and 9 for Alabama. 2 receivers split wide right. McClellan continues in the backfield off the left hip of Jalen Milroe, who takes the snap. Going to go quarterback run up the middle, and he's got all kinds of room. 20, 10, inside the 10, and he's dragged down there. First down and goal, Alabama It was Rod Moore coming up from his safety spot who dropped Jalen Milroe. They're going to mark the ball at the 9-yard line.
It's such a tough play to defend when you've got a quarterback that basically when he decides to run it, he's running with the size of a fullback, the speed and agility of a tailback.
He's so good in the run game. First and goal from the 9 for Alabama. They trail by 7 here in overtime. Milroe in a shotgun with the ball in the right hash. Takes the snap, high snap, hands it off to McClellan, nothing there. Back to the line of scrimmage. Dropped right there by Junior Colson out of his linebacker spot. The Wolverines' leading tackler, the junior out of Brentwood, Tennessee.
Yeah, boy, every snap is an adventure for McLaughlin. That was a high heater delivered to Jalen Milroe that he was lucky to catch.
Second and goal from the 9. No gain officially on that first down play. Michigan's defense needs to come up with one more stop. It's Milroe in a shotgun. 2 receivers split left, 1 to the right. McClellan in the backfield. Milroe hands it off, and it's buried in the backfield is Jace McClellan. The Wolverines' defensive front swarmed him for a loss of 5.
Is that Mason Graham?
Sure was. The California native out of Anaheim. 5-yard loss, and Alabama's looking at a 3rd and goal from the 15. They've converted worse than this.
That's an instant win, and all Mason Graham did was pinch across the face of Tyler Booker, the left guard, create penetration. He's right place, right time for that TFL.
3rd and goal from the 14-yard line. Milroe in a shotgun. It's got Roydell Williams in the backfield. Milroe takes the snap back to pass. Looking, fires, and it's caught inside the 5 by Jermaine Burton, and he's dropped there. Depends on the spot. Looks like about the 4-yard line on the far side, and Alabama's got one play. Where are they going to mark this? At the 3. This is it. This is the equivalent of just about a 2-point conversion, and now an Alabama player falls to the ground.
That's Jermaine Burton. Looks like he was cramping up.
Made the tackle. Yeah, he got up uncomfortably. And Alabama's going to get essentially a timeout here. So Jesse Minter's defense needs one stop on 4th and 3 here in overtime, and the Wolverines up 7. Now, this is the end zone where the Michigan fans are, so it's going to be rowdy down there.
It's going to be rowdy, and it all comes down to one play. It's field goal does them no good. They're in 4-down territory, going to have to go for it, and don't be surprised at all. That the ball is going to stay in the hands of Jalen Milroe. I would be shocked if it's anything other than a read option and Jalen Milroe keeps it going backside. Got to be disciplined and check off all the boxes. This is where team defense, it's essential. The only way that you could stop a player like Jalen Milroe in a situation like this is with team defense.
4th and goal from the 3.
Burton looks like he's going to be out for some time. He can barely put pressure on his leg in this.
Okay, we watch Alabama's big play receiver struggle to get to the sideline. Meanwhile, the Michigan fans here making a ton of noise. Can they get this one stop? Jesse Minter has broken the defensive huddle from the 3-yard line with the ball in the right hash. It feels like it's going to be, as you mentioned, a play for number 4. Alabama breaks the huddle and takes the field. Roydell Williams will be the running back. He's lined up to the left of Jalen Milroe. 4th down and goal. Michigan leading 27-20, and Jim Harbaugh is going to take a timeout.
This little gamesmanship going on.
Timeout in overtime. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Alabama trying to dial up their best play. We're trying to find a defibrillator. Jason, you okay down there?
I'm excited.
I know, this is...
I'm excited. Could we ask for more in this situation? In
No,
this stage?
Well, they converted a 4th and 31. I'd prefer it were 4th and 31. But,
hey, it's the type of team that can...
well, their big play guy on 4th down has been Isaiah Bond, the wide receiver. He's the one on the receiving end of that 4th and 31 against Auburn. Had a big 4th and 4 conversion against Georgia in the SEC title game. But I think This is a Milroe play all the way.
This is a Milroe, and it's got to be a win up front. Look for Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant to be able to win in the middle of that offensive and defensive line.
Two receivers split to either side. Roydell Williams in the backfield. Here we go. 4th down and goal for Alabama. Game on the line. And we get a whistle, and now Bama has taken a timeout.
Jeez.
They fully are trying to kill the broadcast crew.
Yeah, I mean, this is as suspenseful as it gets. You've got two of the most iconic programs in college football, Alabama and Michigan, in overtime in the greatest bowl game there is, the Rose Bowl. The weather's been perfect. The game has been anything but perfect on both sides. Offensively, Alabama has had some issue with their center quarterback exchange, having issues protecting their quarterback. Michigan has shot themselves in the foot from the very first play of the game.
An interception was overturned, but here we go.
Kind of set the tone, and now.
Can the Wolverines survive and advance? Both huddles are broken. Michigan's defense takes the field. This time Alabama splits 3 wide, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Roydell Williams in the backfield. Jalen Milroe in a shotgun. Game on the line. 4th and goal from the 3. Milroe puts a man in motion, empty backfield, low snap, quarterback run up the middle.
Yeah!
He's not gonna make it!
Yeah!
Nowhere close as the Michigan defense stuffs Jalen Milroe, and the Wolverines will play
Going to
for
Houston,
a national
baby!
championship 1 week from tonight.
Oh my goodness.
What a moment. And we got to see who it is in that Michigan defense that stuffed Jalen Milroe on a quarterback keeper all the way. And Jesse Minter's boys, not fooled. And the Wolverines have won the Rose Bowl 27-20 in overtime.